It's okay.
Oh.
Peter's not
What? Peter's not what?
logged into Roll20 yet either.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
sorry.
Oh my
that
gosh.
timing went-
What?
Oh, no.
Everybody
It's
needs
really-
to be
Oh my gosh, I'm
organized.
rolling. I'm logging in right now. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Chaos!
I'm sorry. Sheryl, start the show, please. I'm so sorry.
I'm really riding fast and loose this weekend.
Oh my god, this is amazing.
All right.
Hi everybody. This is Nature Check, the show where you come for the game and stay for the science and the scientists and their personalities. This is the 6th episode, woo, of our Burn campaign, a post-apocalyptic game for apocalyptic times. We're playing Legacy: Life Among the Ruins. We'd like to remind you that we've extended our Tiltify campaign supporting the Bale Project through the end of July. You can find the link to our campaign in the panels below, on our Twitter, or in the video or podcast description. We appreciate your support of this deserving charity to help bring justice for Black lives in our communities. As a bonus, when you donate $5 to the Bale Project through our campaign, you can choose to grant advantage to a player in either of our RPG streams, and a $10 donation can similarly be used to grant advantage to the Game Master, or disadvantage to a player. If you choose
Donate
to use...
$1 and we'll kill whatever character Xander's playing right now.
You really don't want to play Ganymede anymore, right? Like, is that...
Not that I don't want to play Ganymede.
You're just ready for his death.
Oh, no.
I'm attached to Ganymede. He's so convenient.
Maybe
That's
today...
your fault.
Convenient. Maybe today you'll have a chance to, like, die in a
It might go real bad.
It might go real bad.
I don't know. I have
don't know.
like some.
That's true.
We're doing a real bad job with these interests,
It's
gang.
fine. Like Jordan said, fast and loose.
Yeah.
If you choose to use your donation to grant one of those outcomes, including killing Xander's character, please mention it in the text panel of the donation so we can keep track. As an extra special motivation reminder, we have a secret benefactor who will be matching donations up to the first $1,000 raised for the Bale Project, so please help us support them. And a thank you to everyone who has donated so far. We are at $275, and that's really cool, so thanks. Excuse me. Moving on.
Can't tell you who the mysterious benefactor is, but we can tell you they only go by one name. So it's like Cher or Sting
A
or
mononym,
Chewbacca
actually.
or Pink or
what?
someone like that.
Mononym is the word for
Mononym.
that.
Oh, yeah.
Word?
Yeah.
But they
Wow, we're a good team.
they do
I
have
know.
the sort of like red velvet smoking jacket aesthetic. So this
I would hope so.
secret
You're
They
going to
have
be an
a-
anonymous benefactor.
secret mysterious anonymous benefactor willing to match
Should at
donations.
least be wearing slippers or something. All right, let's.
Do they have like a
Use
big
ourselves.
fluffy white cat that they slowly pet?
I don't know.
They
They
do
turn
have-
around in their chair whenever anyone enters the room.
They do have cats, so we're at least on track. Anyway, moving on to our general
Yes,
announcements.
please. I beg.
Thanks, as always, to those of you who are watching us live. If you have questions for the cast, feel free to post them in the chat, and I'll bring them up when we take our break or at the end. If you're not watching us live, thanks for catching us on video at our YouTube channel or on our podcast. We appreciate you coming along with us on our adventures. Don't forget, subscriptions on any of our platforms, as well as comments and reviews, really help us out, so thanks in advance for doing that as well. And the social media information for the entire Nature Check cast can be found down in the reference section below. And now it's time for the introductions. Hi, I'm Sheryl, and my pronouns are she, her. I'm a PhD student studying ecology at the University of Illinois at Chicago, and when I'm not doing my research, you can find me on YouTube as the Roving Naturalist. For the Burn campaign, I'll be running the family called the Ripples, and my current character's name is Islae. Also, I did some very important research last week based on a discussion we had last time we played Burn, and I have determined that there are several beers made from mushrooms, and supposedly also one made from algae, although there was not very much information on that one. So no worries, our post-apocalyptic characters have multiple options for adult beverages. So that was the very important research I did. Next, we've got Jordan.
Hey everyone, I'm Jordan. My pronouns are she, her. I'm a PhD student studying brain simulation and machine learning at Harvard and MIT. And in my spare time, you can find me on YouTube talking about artificial intelligence and algorithms, and more recently, how I balance 8 billion things in a week. I currently run the Family The Institute and play the character Lissa within the campaign. And I didn't do any research pertaining to this campaign before we got here, so sorry.
Next, we've got Peter.
Hey everybody, my name is Peter. My pronouns are he, him. I am an entomologist doing agricultural extension work in Maryland, which means I teach people how scientists think they should farm and try and keep people updated on rules, regulations, new research, and information about agriculture and agricultural science, agricultural marketing, all those kinds of fun things. In my spare time, I take pictures of bugs. And I am playing the Shepherds of the Cave, which are a interesting group of people who like to do genetic experiments with bugs and eat them.
Hey, don't we all?
And eat them.
Specifically, don't you, though.
Once or twice.
Yeah. Then we've got Xander.
Hi, I'm Xander. My pronouns are he, him. I am a PhD candidate in psychology, which means, yes, I can read minds. Peter, for example, is thinking about bugs right now, but that's an easy one because he's always thinking about bugs.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
also
cheating.
an aspiring comedy writer, and the comedy book that I'm reading right now tells me that I'm supposed to write down all of the jokes that I come up with throughout the day. So I'd like to share the dumbest one that I came up with yesterday.
So this is the research you've done.
So it says, this is what I wrote. I'm just reading what I wrote
Mhm.
yesterday. It says,
no.
bad, my roommate plays the tuba. Worse, my roommate is a tuba and can't pay rent.
That's pretty good.
That was the dumbest one I came up with.
I mean, fair enough, but it made me laugh.
That's the
That
kind of
was a
joke.
genuine and sincere reaction that you just got out of me.
Yeah, Sheryl, how many subscribers did we just lose?
Many.
All of them, but they're all cowards.
Ooh. It was
Exit left.
It was all the bots. Remember, we have all those
okay.
bots that we can lose.
yeah.
Bye bots.
Bye
I
bots.
feel like that's the kind of joke that goes way better on like a tweet than it does you like saying it.
Very good. But like the flatness of the delivery really amplified.
No, yeah,
it.
I
loved
think-
that.
I think what she's saying is, despite the flatness of your delivery, it would have been
No.
better with no delivery at all, like
Oh,
in
Sheryl,
text form.
You know what? Actually, let's take it a step further. Just
Later
don't
on,
tell the
left
joke. No delivery. None. Just don't deliver
It's
the
too
joke.
late for
is
that,
what we-
Xander. It's far too late for that.
And I play the Bowerbirds, the lawgivers of the wasteland, and the character I'm playing right now is Ganymede.
Oh, just
We'll
right now,
see
though.
What happens to him?
I don't know why this is happening, but I'm into it. Honestly, it's fine. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I wasn't planning on killing anyone, but I also wasn't planning on not killing anyone. And while I'm here, I guess I should introduce myself. I'm talking very fast. All right. Hi, I'm Jareth. I use they pronouns. My background's astro, nuclear physics, and I did no prep or research for this, so let's see how it goes. Let's start like all good movies do with like some fresh fall. Well, actually, no, it wouldn't be fresh fall. It's more like road worn snow, like kind of in Boston after 3-4 days where it's salty and dirty. I hope we're all. Anyhow, we see like an insect pincer slam down into it as Peter's cool convoy comes walking by. And then we hear a sound I think we're all familiar with after last night, a whistle and an explosion. You are under assault. But let's back up and see how we got here. Peter, remind the class about how you made this convoy so cool and attractive.
Did I establish this already? Because I do not remember.
We did. But feel free to...
I remember it was actually the Institute that did most of the
Oh, you're right.
sprucing up.
Because they had,
Spies. Mm-hmm.
Can you remind the class, Cheryl?
I can.
Since I didn't do my homework.
Yeah, I was about to say, I don't think there's anything specific that
That's-
we did
yeah,
other
I'm
than
not
me
actually,
rolling
I'm
to
just-
say that it was a more enticing convoy.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
exactly. I'm just...
because you had a lot of people, like, you did the thing where you added extra guards to the convoy to make it look extra special, and the clue that you left behind was that somebody's wearing their Institute t-shirt.
Yes. Yes. Somebody forgot to,
one of the
to
guards,
take off
yeah.
their Institute t-shirt.
So like
And
maybe
drop
this
their
is
Institute
aroused,
pen or whatever.
and they are therefore slightly more prepared than you would expect necessarily. But right now there is an explosion. Let's see. I think we also kind of established that you guys are kind of separately sneaking off around back to like blow up their cool like big tank thing that they've been using. I don't know who specifically is in that party versus, because largely I think this was the result of the family moves. I don't necessarily know that any of you need to be in it, but at the same time, if you were like, oh, this convoy is really important, I got to be here instead of there, I don't want to like deny you that chance.
Well, which characters do we know that are expendable?
Well, so
all of them.
I
That's how this game
remember-
The
is.
grad students.
Oh.
Very much so, but
I remember that one of the last things we did last time was Islae navigated to the spot.
yeah,
So that
you
we can
had like
look
a cool
onto the-
overlook.
Yeah, to look out on their base thing, not on where the
All right, let's
convoy
bring
would be,
the
but yeah.
minds. No, for sure. But I needed to like set that cool scene of the convoy under attack. I was thinking about that earlier today and wanted to say those words out loud in that
Yes.
order.
No, it was great.
No, I thought it was pretty cool. A lot of like really good movies. Anyhow, but likewise, I guess then you're overlooking kind of as the kind of war council meets up, or raiding council, I don't know. Bunch of riders go off with their cool leather vests that we previously established, that even though it's like still freezing, it's occasionally getting above freezing, which is exciting for you guys, but it's still pretty freezing. They're just wearing vests because they're cool and tough. It's not like genetic or anything, and they're just really cool and tough. It could be genetic. They are biohacked, but that's mostly like they got lizard tongues, and like some of them have scales, which are cool. But they're warm-blooded enough somehow to be like just in vests. I don't know. You tell me, Peter. Or don't. It doesn't matter. You don't have to justify this. I do. If
No, that all
anyone, and
tracks.
I'm
That
not
all completely
going to.
tracks. I don't know what
Okay,
you're,
I'm
what
glad
you're even
we're all-
questioning. Yeah, it's like
Glad we're all on board.
yeah,
Excellent.
leather vest
Um,
equals badass. I feel like, yeah, and badass means no sleeves, no need for sleeves, no, you burn the sleeves and you use those to keep you warm if you need to.
Sleeves are bullshit.
Sleeves
Well-
are bullshit.
They do have sleeves, but they're sleeve tattoos.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
obviously.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Like snakes rolling around their arms. It's all.
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah.
cool.
What are people
Um,
tattooing themselves with nowadays?
That's a great
Yeah.
question.
Mushroom pigment, Cheryl?
That was what I was gonna say.
Well, they're above ground, so they might have.
Whoa.
I don't. They still might have mushrooms. I don't know,
Also,
but they like
I
have
have a-
camps and rolling.
I have a question about the snakes, because you
Go
said
ahead.
snakes around their arms. Like last time we established
I
that...
meant like as tattoos, not like.
Right, but like last
Okay,
time we
cool.
established that
Oh, no.
dragonflies are, that nobody believes in dragonflies anymore. So
Yes.
like, do we believe in snakes, or are they also like mythical creatures?
No, snakes definitely made it. Like y'all have been in caves. I can't imagine like that. Like I do see kind of a sunless thing being somewhat of a problem, but I think there definitely are like plenty of cave snakes still, and as such,
Snakes in a cave.
snakes. In, I'm not. No, listen.
But
Samuel
perhaps-
Jackson
Sorry.
already did everything he could with that franchise. I'm not gonna try and like top it with this.
Perhaps the pronunciation has changed over the years, so now we call them snakes.
Ooh, I like anything you want to change the pronunciation of. All of this is like a localization, anyways. So
Yeah.
like,
Like flipping through an old encyclopedia, like, oh, I'm reading about snakes.
go snacky. Oh, Peter's back.
Yeah, I went to go see if I had a sleeveless T-shirt, and then while I was up, I decided I was actually kind of cold, and so then I put my sweatshirt
Yeah,
on
no,
instead.
So you're now less
Honestly,
badass
I'm a bit
than you were?
chilly without the sleeves here, but like,
I don't think it's
I like
possible
this
for me
look.
to be less badass than I was previously, but yes,
What
always.
is
this
the-
is strong.
What if the biohacked raiders have like a public-facing image where they have to wear the vests, but as soon as we're like
Really?
gone, like no one's looking at them, they like,
Oh
God,
yeah,
okay,
you're
put
an
the
overlook.
sweater
There are a
back
couple
on
of
and,
them
like,
put
huddle
some
together.
parkas on, just like
Yeah.
finally.
Bunny slippers.
That's
That's why there was an earmuffs thing last time.
There
Yeah.
was earmuffs.
There
that's
was.
Right.
It
do
was
have
very
earmuffs.
close to being an earmuffs thing this time, but I held back.
Smart.
Yes, I'm capable
So
of
you,
holding back,
I
Cheryl.
think on the kind of because you rolled a mixed success here on this, they leave behind a larger guard contingent. In the background, you hear these cool explosions happening as the convoy fight is happening. But right now, you guys are here with, say, I don't know, how big are they? I haven't figured out how big they are. They're probably 100 or 120 or so people overall doing raiding, and then like some families, because you can't just run an economy on raiding, I assume.
Well, according to Dunbar's number in human psychology, you can't have a group of more than 150 individuals without it splitting into two smaller groups in a society such as one consisting of raiders, where the laws are built on your interpersonal connections with the others. So I'm going to put a hard limit of 150.
No, that's fine. 120 is right under that. I like that because that works with what I made up off the top of my head that sounded right. So let's say they left behind a contingent of 20 of those raiders for guardsmanship. You saw their leader, Insane James, with a really, really big sniper rifle go off. So that's probably okay, unless, of course, it isn't. You never know. It's very big, strapped to her back. I stole her from a different Apocalypse World campaign that I was in. I just love her so much that now she's here with you guys.
Oh, good.
She sounds delightful.
Yeah.
It is delightful.
R.I.P. the people in the convoy.
Anyhow.
Yeah, we didn't like them anyways.
I hope you didn't like them too. Why'd you made a bait convoy and put them in it? Like, I don't mean to be rude, but that's not exactly a friendly gesture.
It was all volunteer, ?
Was it? You're making that face.
Well, we didn't establish whether it was or not. I feel like that's something I'd like
we
to...
We can't now. We're making up this fiction as we go. I just did in media res because it's a cool way to do things, but now we can kind of backfill the details on that.
You know, sometimes when you live in a limited resource society, you have too many people.
Wow.
And then you got to figure out what to do with those people.
Wow. Wow. So you're going eugenics. That's the...
I feel like those elevator operators, they had a very specific skill set that maybe we don't need anymore.
Whoa. That's dark. Peter, that's dark.
All right.
That's pretty dark.
Apparently we are not on the same page with this.
No, these are your choices.
I think maybe the Ripples just have more family values than the
probably
Shepherds.
have a lot of kind of militaristic, jingoistic hoo-ha buy-in to this sort of thing. So I think you might be able to get them to go along, even if you're doing it for drastically different reasons. It's just like, oof.
I feel like when your entire culture is built on selective breeding and genetic manipulation.
It's not.
Maybe you have
yours is. Okay,
mine is.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I feel like I have like a much more.
There's some dark shit in there.
Yeah. Feel like, oh no, you just got to cull off the weak.
What the fuck, dude?
Doesn't everybody agree with that?
What the I'm going to kill
Xander
your
knows what I'm talking about.
I feel like I have to interject at this point for the podcast listeners that the three people who aren't talking have very uncomfortable looks on their faces.
They're looking very
This is just how I look.
Which I respect it. I'm speaking for them, I hope.
Yeah. Jordan looks like she's trying to get further away from her computer screen. No.
The Institute has its issues, but it's not super into eugenics.
Yeah. Just remember,
that's good. Just dabbling with.
Remember, this is a role-playing game. All of this is fiction.
Yes.
And also, I will punish Peter for this.
Oh, good, good.
God damn it! I was just trying to and
I'm sorry,
your whole
Peter,
thing about not using volunteers. God damn it!
I'm sorry, but you went with that and went in eugenicist direction.
One of the classic blunders.
You improv yourself into eugenics.
Yes,
you fool.
This will come back and bite your family specifically.
Fuck. It's cool.
Later, probably in generations as you end up with inbreeding or something. We'll figure it out. But
if there's one family that's used to being bitten, it's the ones who breed large centipedes.
Fork in the road that I will not let you get over. Anyhow, you've done this cool thing. There's a convoy that you definitely could get a decent selection of volunteers because again, there is a lot of militaristic hoo-ha, especially in the sort of reclaiming the surface. Yeah, this big. The Apollo project kind of is presented as this great work, I think, and so you can get more enthusiasm than necessarily merits the actual scope and scale, especially of being a bait convoy. That sounds like it sucks, but it's part of this great and cool work, and so I think not everybody's excited to be on board, but there's definitely a selection of elevator operators, probably the more militaristic group. Shepherds, I think you probably aren't. But Sheryl, I am the Ripples. You have some military people. They're probably Xander. Likewise, as lawgivers, you definitely have some folks who are, doing that stuff because it's, everybody in the community is like deciding to volunteer or not, and some of them are in your group. Yeah. Unless you want to be like super strict about it, but that doesn't sound like the angle you were going for. Cool. So they've ridden away. We've established what's happening with the convoy, but there's like 20 or so guards still left around this kind of like a Jawa roller. I made it less big last time, but I've upgraded its size. They've had a little bit of time to do construction. That's what it is. That's not it. Could you imagine? But at the same time, they're largely not like there's a couple on perimeter guard, but a lot of them have kind of set up, fires and are leaning up against their bikes, roasting hot dogs or whatever. Some of them are roasting marshmallows. I don't fucking...
New plan. We join up with these guys.
I was going to say,
they sound rad.
If they're making s'mores, they're way too relatable.
I will say, like, you don't have to eliminate these people. You just have to stop. And even then, have to is pretty. But, like, they're raiding your convoys, and that's probably bad. You should... But, like, there is no particular... If you let in, say, Jane live, then I have a lot of plans. I don't have a lot of plans, but I'll use her. She's fun. I like her.
Not sure I know what a Jawa roller is, so I'm going to imagine a double-decker bus from London.
Have you seen
Bigger than that. Have you seen a Star War?
No, remember I yawned earlier when you were talking about
right.
Star Wars. It's like a narcoleptic reflex. I just fall asleep.
It's like a big thing.
It does imply that you have seen it, though, to know that it's boring.
No, hang on. It's like a small community library, but on wheels is kind of the scale you're looking at. Let's buy into Xander's reality here.
I thought didn't we discuss last time it was like an old politician tour bus? I think the year was
it's
like
bigger now. No, it got bigger, remember?
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Although it was still that because politics got even fucking wilder. I know you don't want to hear it.
What they did was they took a bunch of large vehicles and they selectively bred them together and prevented the ones with undesirable genes from breeding until they had a master race of large vehicles.
That doesn't sound right either.
Have you seen the movie Cars?
This?
Come on.
I have.
How do you think you get new cars?
You've seen Cars, but not Star Wars?
I can't do the Cars discourse right now.
The documentary Cars.
Yes, real to life picture Cars with the car pope. Meaning car Catholicism. I can't do this. I'm sorry. If I get down this hole, I will not stop.
Let's talk about car circumcision.
Please, there are some raiders. You can join them if you want, but you gotta. We're just gonna.
We already talked about eugenics.
Yeah, and that sucked too.
Let's make the editing job of this podcast as difficult as possible for Sheryl.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate all of the hours of unpaid labor I do with this. Anyway, because I believe in it.
Nice. Someone. No, but are you guys going to join these raiders? Do you want to try and talk to them? That sounds crazy. I'm going to be upfront with you. You're probably better off trying something else, but you could try it.
So I imagine all of us like peeking over the crest of a hill on our like elbows like this.
I think
Scooby-Doo
definitely
style?
got some surveillance binoculars.
I mean, sure, but
someone's got like a.
They say the Institute on the side.
Yep.
Stop putting your branding on everything.
That's not their job. Very important to them that it's like the only like thing that mirrors my webcam, and I hate it. But like also, I appreciate it because then my shirt has the right. It's not even a good shirt. What are we doing?
Yeah. How would you folks like to approach them?
Well, clearly they're food oriented if they have hot dogs and s'mores.
True. Maybe.
So maybe we can distract them with some delicious, I don't know, distraction nearby. And when they go to investigate, say a picnic,
You'd have a cardboard box with a stick.
Yeah.
So wait, hold up. We've distracted the vast majority of these guys
Correct.
with a
Envoy.
A Trojan
convoy.
horse.
And now you want to you would do an additional distraction.
I mean, they've left behind
Well-
more guards than you think they ought to because somebody got a mixed success on their whatever the roll was. I got to do something a bit mean.
If there are 120 raiders and now there are 20 left, that's about
Yes.
a sixth of the original number.
Correct.
So if we do an additional distraction, we'll get rid of another 5/6 of the raiders, and
Interesting.
then we'll only have like a couple to deal with.
It's like three and a third.
Yeah.
Somebody just leaves
One
their
guy,
boots
one guy
behind.
leaves his leg
Like,
behind. Yeah.
No, it's far more gruesome. You don't want.
Sorry.
We don't want to get into this.
You drew the short straw, man.
Okay, so
That's a chainsaw.
meta distraction is one option. What other options do we have? And it doesn't have to be a picnic. Listen, I'm open to alternatives, such as weird grenades.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah, I
say
was
just
also
a
thinking
bunch of
about
weird
that.
grenades.
so we could
Those
do like
like-
a just full frontal assault.
Just want to like start off by going for it.
We could pull the classic split the party and come at them from two sides.
Ooh, the classic pincer movement.
Yeah.
Well,
We could challenge one of them to a one-on-one like game of Go or something.
No, no.
Whoever wins.
Doesn't
No, hang on.
Peter has a thing about dueling with riddles,
No, if that's a general dueling,
Oh.
it doesn't have to be riddles.
but it could be a duel.
There is a dueling option if you can talk them into it. Like, that's not... I don't hate that.
You have to like,
Peter,
you have to
gotta,
like, challenge their honor or something. How do we?
Well, hang let me go look at the actual move before I start.
When you win a duel of swords, riddles, acrobatics, comma, whatever, roll plus sway. On a hit, the audience sees you as the correct or at least most honorable party.
I changed my
On-
mind. It should be acrobatics.
All right.
I am an old man. We have
That's
established
why.
that.
I was thinking whoever can jump the motorcycle over the most flaming
Oh my god.
marshmallows gets the
Mhm.
double decker.
Eating contest.
Yes, a s'mores eating contest.
Yes.
How do we
Yes.
talk them into this?
A great question.
We just
I'm not
pray
going to
to
answer
Jareth.
it for
You
you.
just like write out the suggestion on a paper airplane and send it over the hill.
And then they think that they came up with
Yeah.
it, thanks to the sleeper effect.
Wait, where's my handbook? No,
That's-
I was gonna say, can
We don't need
weird
rules where we're going.
grenades like, because it can't be
here, let me-
explosive, but it can be because they're afferent grenades. But can it be like
yeah.
I recorded a message and then the message explodes at them?
No.
The message is
I love
picnic
you,
over
but
here.
you're asking way too much. I cannot give this to you. No.
Yeah, like right in the sky fireworks.
Exactly.
Yes.
I might be convinced that you could rig up a skywriting system, but it would not be via weird grenades.
It's
Aw.
just
That's fair.
it's just a recording of
And
infrasound, so they get like really depressed and feel sick.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love
Ooh.
this.
We haunt them. We haunt them.
Yes, they have hallucinations for months.
I mean, I don't know that you have months.
Yeah, I was
But-
about to say we only need like today, right?
Yeah.
It's up to you what your goals
Next time,
are.
though.
Your caravans are being raided, so that's not ideal. But like, whatever you want to have happen, like, that's what you gotta make happen.
I suppose to clarify, to make sure we know how good some of these options are, it's the four of us and Lissa's grad students and my backpacktopus and anyone else?
All of
hang
my
on.
various pets
Yeah,
and
that's fine. I'll
attack
give
animals.
You
Okay,
a
but, like-
set of followers that represents kind of a small squadron for this. Let's I
Like,
need
are
to-
there 20 of us is what I'm getting at.
That
You're
would
definitely
help.
outnumbered, but it's not like 4 to 1. So let's say 2 to 1. Put you give you 6 kind of real sincere like actual fighting people. Like grad students don't do that, and probably we're like, we're gonna stay home
Don't
if that's
they?
okay with you.
The grad
Hey,
students
I'm
don't
pretty
fight?
scrappy.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Were
And
those
they all
cat
have carpal
claws?
tunnel.
Was that?
Yeah, they were.
It's all passive aggressive fighting.
Oh boy.
Ooh.
I am sorry I stepped on this land.
I can misspell someone's name in an email pretty creatively.
Where is
Yeah,
this?
sign
Hang
it.
on.
Thank you for your swift attention to this
Oh,
problem.
here we go. Yeah, I'll
As per my
broadly
previous email.
give you guys a quality 3 fighting people so
Now,
that
I want
if you want to order them, they can do stuff.
I want your grad students to like run into battle swinging weapons and yelling one-liners like that before they hit people.
To whom it may concern. Yeah, all right.
You see those guys down there? Every single one of them is reviewer number
I
3.
was just gonna say, this is for you, reviewer 2! Well, are we... I don't know. Are we throwing stuff at them? Are we pincering? Are we just, like, going for it?
Well, we
feel
tried.
like- Sorry, go ahead.
I'm giving up.
Qui-Gon
You're
Bowers...
the most tactically skilled out of all of us.
Oh, honey.
No. No.
I mean,
maybe.
Ganymede is, not Xander.
Well,
I don't know. Ganymede came into our meeting that he wasn't invited to with sticks in his hair. So...
love him. Oh, I'm gonna be so dead.
I wasn't
sad
invited to
when
the
he
meeting.
dies.
I don't remember that part of the plot.
Don't you remember when you walked in,
No,
we were
he
like,
was
how did you get in
invited.
here? You weren't invited. And then there was a thing about the elevator operators feeling bad that they were supposed to change the locks so you couldn't get in.
Oh yeah. I'm glad somebody knows what's happening
Listen to
on
the
the show
podcast,
because
folks.
it's not me. I
We're-
mean to, but then I got distracted.
We're glad you're here, though.
Yes.
Thank you. What if you guys create a distraction and I sneak up on the posterior portion of the community library, and I break
Whoa.
things?
And you break things.
Oh, that's a great idea. Why don't I create a distraction with my murder hornets?
Yes.
Hmm?
That's pretty distracting. On a scale of
I-
1 to distracting, I'd call
Yeah.
that distracting.
I
Yeah, my-
recognize that murder hornets are, in fact, in the news, but I
Mhm.
believe you had wasps.
They're,
Potato, potato.
yeah,
I
hornets
mean,
and
fair.
wasps.
Wait,
are-
really?
Yeah, the hornets.
Yeah,
Wait,
they're a type of
really?
wasp.
Yeah.
Hornets are a type of wasp.
Yeah.
I did not.
Bees are also
Jordan,
a type
did
of
you know
wasp.
this?
No.
And if you want to get technical about it, ants are also a type of wasp.
What the fuck?
Yep.
Yeah.
True
I
story.
don't like that. I don't. Can you delete that fact?
Please. Yes.
You don't have to like
I
it.
don't-
Yep.
I don't like
Totally true.
You know what? In this world, wasps are a type of ants. Deal with it.
Well, that also.
Jared.
Yep.
Damn
Anyway.
it!
Anyway.
Don't care for this one bit. All right, what are we doing?
In the same way that birds are
alright,
dinosaurs.
So, if you're gonna do a murder hornet thing, is that the plan?
Mhm.
Yes,
That's a-
and then I'll
okay.
roll a stealthy type roll.
Love that. So that's you're not like you're creating a distraction, so that's more diffuse than it is assault, which are kind of the two major ones. This is more a force kind of deal, so why don't you give me a plus force roll? And then we'll talk about what happens when you unleash. Yeah, Peter, sorry. I was in a different tab, so I didn't recognize your putting. Cheryl, are
No,
you
no
raising
worries,
your
no
hand?
worries.
What's happening?
Before you release your wasps,
Yeah.
can we like make sure we've talked out the whole plan? Because like,
Why would we do
fair.
that?
You know what? That's fair. That's on me for demanding a roll before we'd really.
it's okay. I could just see him like unscrewing the top of his wasp container, and me being like, "Wait,"
That's exactly how it happens. Yes.
because so like you two each have an idea of what you're doing, but Lissa and I don't think know what our part is in this, and I want to make sure that everyone knows what their part is, and also
Yeah.
like how we can each best contribute.
Because if we're diffusing, then I don't think weird grenades fits into that anymore.
No, it will. It might, at least.
Okay.
We'll see.
I guess it depends on what the weird of the grenades is.
Well, that's up to you, isn't
How were
it? You
they?
gotta.
It's like one of those
EMP
cartoon
grenades.
guns that like fires a little white flag.
Gonna
bang.
make them full of dry ice, just to add to the
Yeah.
ambiance
Yeah.
with the
Ooh,
wasps.
I like that.
Yeah, do
Yeah.
it.
So that's more like a kind of. It's both cold damage and kind of concealment effect in the region.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
chill.
Or
I'm trying to figure this
You could
out.
make the weird grenades have just a really high buzzing noise to make it seem like there's more wasps than there actually are.
That's
No, I
fair.
like this dry ice. Dry ice is very good. Having played with it plenty
Yeah.
over the course of a science career.
Which, like, why not, right?
It's like, oh man, liquid nitrogen is also like super easy to get your hands on.
Would we call that improvised technology?
Yeah.
Cool, because then I don't have to.
You can roll.
Force.
Yeah, it's definitely much more about like, yeah.
Anything to make it so that I don't have to roll force.
No, I think we'll. And what does that leave for Islae?
Yeah.
God, I should remember a character's name for once, but
It's
here we
okay.
are.
But yeah, I was curious, like, Ganymede, do you want help? Or, like, I'm still sworn to protect Charon, technically, but, like, if you want me to stay here with you and, like, make another defensible barrier to protect us, I can do that. So, basically, who wants me on their kickball team?
I would definitely love help, but it depends on if they need you more.
Rochambeau for me.
I'll say whoever Islae doesn't go with probably. I don't see your. I see your squad of like elite fighters or whatever is probably sticking more with the distraction and defense than necessarily doing sneaky stuff. I don't think that's necessarily their purview. And like if you're distracting them with something resembling an assault, then that seems more like where they belong. So in terms of personnel, it might make more sense if you went, but it's up to you, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, if you want help, I'll come with you. That's fine.
Okay. Then, Xander, why don't you start by doing something sneaky, which I think that's, steal? That's one. It's kind of, what's this? Steal or sway seem like the stealthy kind of one.
Oh, sway
And
is
so-
the family level one, right?
No. I don't
Oh,
think
no,
so.
yeah, you're right. It is a character level.
Yeah, that,
Sorry. So many
these
words.
names are a bit tough to keep
Yeah.
track of. They are descriptive, but there's just enough overlap to make it not quite work. And of course, I come from D&D where I just need wisdom, dexterity, etc., so I can sort it all. And so,
I also
sorting it
get
into-
advantage when I am going up against someone who is perceived as being strong, or I am protecting someone who's weak. And since
Okay.
these people outnumber us
Mhm.
and they have a big machine, I would like to think I can take advantage on this roll.
Definitely, yeah. So then why don't you also take +1 from Sheryl, Islae's help doing the sneaky stuff, because I was
Doing
going to
the
make an
sneaky.
advantage instead of a forward, but hey, that +1, it was a 9, +1 is a
Nice.
10, so instead of a partial success, it works perfectly. You sneak on over, how does it go?
I try to assess what the most important looking components are, and I try to quietly remove them from their casings, if possible, doing as much damage in as short a period of time as I can.
Yeah, I think the tread pins...
breaking things open. If there's any
Mhm.
components that look like I can carry them, maybe I'll steal a couple as well.
Hell yeah. I mean, you gotta steal shit. The tread pins definitely prove to be vulnerability quite quickly. Yeah, you do that. But let's see on the other side how the distraction that stops them from just looking over and going, hey, what the fuck, goes. So that was Peter and Jordan teaming up to do wasps and dry ice grenades. I guess either of you can do whichever of your roles. It's probably Jordan has the best role that applies. It's kind of with the improvised technology. Lissa's cool. Cool. Anyhow, dry ice grenades. So yeah, let's do the same.
Partial.
Okay. Did you take advantage?
Oh no, was I supposed to?
Nah, roll one more D6 because Peter's helping you.
Oh, okay.
Because it's like two of you, and I'd rather have that happen than. All right, that's this. Okay, so it's still the same number. It's an 8 instead, or a 9 instead of an 8. So yeah, a partial success. Do you have the book open to the character moves?
On a 7 to 9, you're bought sometime, but choose one. There's a cost to securing safety. The danger will soon return, and the danger is still present, but threatening someone or something else.
So you and Peter can kind of, what are you feeling? And
I guess soon will soon return. Like,
Okay.
they leave for a little bit, but then...
well, so kind of what you're trying to provide isn't as actually like them leaving, it's them not looking over there. And so it's more that your assault keeps them fully distracted for a short time.
Okay.
Which is cool, but not great for you guys, at least in the short term, because that leaves. So you unleash some wasps and some dry ice grenades. Do you like shout anything before or after?
I don't feel like Charon is the shouting type.
No, fair enough. It's just like some people need a cool line, and I didn't want to step on the chance.
Hey, you can't shout when you work with bugs because one of them might fly in. That's also why you don't scream when you're being attacked by a swarm of bugs, because then they'll just, it'll get worse. They'll just fly in.
Horrifying, but useful. But mostly horrifying. So that's what's happening, and it sucks. It sucks for them. And like, there's also dry ice, and so like it's steaming up, and also anyone who gets directly pelted with it, obviously, like,
ooh, ow.
That sucks. Yeah, you're not having a good day if you touch dry ice. It's very cold. It can like cause burns, which is fun.
Should have been wearing sleeves, motherfuckers.
Wow. This is the hill you're gonna. I guess you're up actually by the thing. You're not gonna die on the hill. They might. We'll see. So, they got lots of bees, but
Wasps, actually.
Wasps, which are
that was my
not
very
bees.
first YouTube video. The difference between bees and wasps.
Oh god.
Bees are wasps, but wasps are not bees.
Fuck me.
Bees probably
All
evolved
right.
from wasps.
Yes, bees did evolve from wasps.
This is upsetting. This is upsetting on some.
Bees are special fuzzy wasps. If you want to think
You
of it
buy
that
yourself
way.
a few seconds of distraction, but
I yelled down at them. I've
What, the bees are
changed my
fuzzy?
decision now. These are technically wasps, but also if they were bees, they would still be also wasps.
Your shouting draws
The
attention.
whole order is named Hymenoptera because of the morphology of the wings, just in case you were wondering.
They're out to kill this Bill Nye motherfucker. Peter, I think you are most in.
Oh no!
Oh,
And I'm not there to
Arm's
protect
way?
him. Oh no!
They
Better
can
get weird
try.
with some grenades.
Well, actually, I was gonna. Would you roll me its plus quality of your quality 3 fighting followers?
He gave us 3
fighting
fighting followers.
Yeah,
A little.
They're named Randy, Bandy, and Dandy.
you got 6 of them, so there's also
Huey,
Mandy,
Dewey, and Louie.
Landy, and Sandy. I wasn't gonna stop the money once it was rolling, but like,
So,
there's
okay,
twice
wait.
as many.
So wait, how do I do this? I have range
so-
and mini
It's but that's your weapon.
and quality.
So you have a quality. So I want you to use the move under orders, basically. So when a group of followers do something that they're specialized in, like these are fighting specialized followers, and so they're fighting, you roll plus quality, which in their case it's 3, but depending on the follower, it changes. Like I
Gotcha.
don't think Lissa's grad student. They were 3 the first time, but I think you took a trait on a weapon instead of 3 the second. I don't remember. It
I
doesn't
don't
matter.
remember either.
So is
Yeah.
it 2d6?
Yeah, 2d6 plus 3. Sorry, I could just.
That
tell you
is
the
double
specifics.
sixes, so that's
Jesus.
a 15.
All right.
Woo!
On a 10 plus, they
They're
do
all
it, no
allergic to bees.
problem. You are.
I was thinking that earlier. I was like, what's the incidence rate of like a venom allergy of this kind?
Well, especially considering that most people wouldn't have been exposed to that venom in any way for like 1,000 years or whatever.
That's really interesting. Yeah, so more of them would have been allergic. Yeah.
But remember, this would be their first exposure for most of them, so they
Right.
don't have any antibodies
Yeah.
for the allergen. So it would have to be like
Yeah.
The next time. Sting him again, boys.
Circle back around.
But 2 weeks from now.
Yeah.
We'll get it. Yeah,
Just
don't
make a
worry.
big loop around the secret military base.
So the rough result of this set of die rolls that we've got is that you've kind of held off this assault, but at the same time, after kind of a little bit of fighting, which is very intense and hand-to-hand, they have... I just want to give them brass knuckles, honestly. Like, I know some of them...
You're the only god here.
Have, no, for sure. They have brass knuckles. I don't know what
Oh
y'all are fighting with.
no! The one weakness of wasps.
Billy clubs? That doesn't... No, but like there's... Not
That can't be
that
right.
sucks. But like your fighting dudes probably have something. I don't know. But like
You know
now
what?
that
I'm
you're
starting to
in
question
close,
the
it's
ant thing, too.
Which ant?
Brass knuckles are the only weakness of wasps.
Look, who's the entomologist here? Me or Sheryl?
I can't argue.
I'm not an entomologist.
No!
I am
Okay.
not an entomologist.
Then me. Then I get to decide.
She studies dung beetles because they're a perfect model ecosystem.
Well,
Or something. I don't know. I'm just trying to pair what
that
you
was
said
close.
one time.
Yeah.
I tried.
I know. I appreciate it.
You get some sort of melee combat, like kind of fought to a standstill on the top of the hill when somebody notices, as we've said, that this trouble comes back soon. Therefore, that Ganymede is off, like stealing cool parts from a from their cool thingamajig. I just blanked on words.
He's putting the parts in his breast pocket because, of course, Ganymede has a breast pocket.
Hang on.
Oh,
How
dear.
many pockets do you have, Ganymede? Is it a countable number?
Was that? Well, no. I mean, okay. So I have an ability that allows me to pull objects
just have,
that
like,
I
shit
hadn't
in your
specified
body.
that I had earlier out of my pockets. So I have extra dimensional pockets.
That's
Also, I can't get this highlighter out of my shirt.
Take it off.
No.
I like to imagine that you're just Ganymede, as we've established, has interesting hair. So I'm just imagining you're like shoving parts into
Oh my god.
I love that. Do you use your hair as a
warren of.
anyhow, you've been noticed, and unlike Peter and hang on. Charon and Islae. Nope.
Yeah.
Lissa. There we go. I remembered a name. Islae and Ganymede. Okay, we're doing this. Are not on the right side of the barrier of protective dudes. And Sheryl, I know you're a fairly good fighter person, so what's up?
Oh
Do
god.
you want to handle it? Xander, do you? You're both kind of
Are they? Yeah, they're coming at
fighter
us.
side.
I
I
have a
think
lot
probably a
of
group
daggers.
of like four kind of detached from like the melee, are like, what the fuck is happening over here, and kind of move over to stop because they outnumber you 2-1. That sounds about right. Are you fighting them with your many knives?
and many fishing spears. I
I
guess.
No,
mean,
it's
you
just-
have
I guess that's
We don't
what
do very much
You guys
pure
are-
combat, so let's do it.
Yeah.
unlimited weapons. That's so exciting.
We just keep pulling them out of everywhere. Yeah, I guess let's do it. Also,
Do you want to like just fiercely assault right now, or do you want to do anything to set it up? Because that changes kind of the way I can damage you.
I
to
do.
an extent. I thought you
Um,
might.
I have a move called Holding Back the Tide. So it says when
I
you
remember.
stand in defense of a person, place, or thing, roll plus steal. On a 7 and 9, pick 1. On a 10 plus, pick 2. So I will hold back the tide and stand in defense of Ganymede while he continues to pull shit off of this crawling vehicle thing.
Love it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Roll it.
Roll it. Plus steal.
Oh yeah, I like that. That's the other one. Okay, I see. And a partial success, which means you get to pick one of your options. Say
Okay.
it out loud.
Oh gosh. Okay, so my choices are no harm comes to the thing you defend, so that would be Ganymede. You deflect blows raining down on you harmlessly away, so I guess that would
That's you.
be me. Or you force the danger back and away. So I'm gonna pick the third one. I force the danger back and away.
Okay. I'm just gonna hand you each one harm.
Oh god.
Oh no, I am sprained.
I am bruised.
I know, but like
Ouch.
it's because like you didn't choose either of the ones that was like no one takes any harm, and so it sounds to
No
me
pain,
like
no
kind of
gain.
Yeah,
in holding
exactly.
them back, like you at least are winded. Because I think, like, the first box, you're both fighty types, and so the first box of harm for both of you
Fighty
isn't
types?
particularly... Yeah, like, fighty types.
Yeah,
You're, like,
yeah.
people who roll things at front lines.
Yep.
I know how parties are composed. I played Dungeons and Dragons.
I know a lot about parties, you guys. I was invited to lots of them in college. I went to one. I went to one party in college.
Oh my goodness.
And
My
Do we
favorite
need to
It didn't go
pause
well.
and
when I got
unpack
to...
this?
No, hang on.
Do we need
My
to
favorite
unpack
rule when I got to make rules in Kings was that to make people end every sentence with "in accordance with the prophecy." That was my favorite. Just like a quick party tip. That one annoys the shit out of everyone, and it's funny as hell, including me. But like, I'm willing to suffer some personal annoyance for everyone to be annoyed. You know what I mean? Anyhow, that's not this. So yeah, you get sprained, a bit winded. It's not as easy as you hope to beat back this kind of small detachment. Let me see. I have my next thing. I just need to figure out how to drop it in. If you'll give me a moment.
Oh god.
is this a good time for the Horde to tell me what kind of art it wants me to make?
Pretty art.
I'll take it.
Nice.
As a reminder, that was one of my conditions from last
That
time.
is one
Yes.
of your conditions. It's true. The art speaks to you.
Qui-Gon Bowers says that we are fighty types like Hitmonlee and Hitmonchan, so I want to know
Exactly.
which one do you want to be?
Can I be Hitmontop? Because that dude spins on his head and it's crazy.
Love that little dude. Love that.
I was always
skinny little
partial to
dude.
Hitmonchan as a kid.
I like the kicky one, is what I remember.
That's Hitmonlee.
Kicky one.
He's
Hell
cool
yeah.
too. He's
I
cool
don't. One of them got all the punches, and one of them got all the kicks.
I
Like,
got
what do
Ice
you want
Punch.
from
I got
me? I was
Thunder
12.
Punch. I got Fire Punch.
I
Come at
wasn't
me.
even 12.
Come at
I
me.
think I was in elementary school.
I feel like this was an especially good place for us to do this, though, because, like, our backs are protected by the vehicle itself, so we've only got, a little bit of space that we actually have to fight people.
That's true. It's true. Hey, Sheryl, I'm
Hey.
just gonna do this as a GM thing. I'll even what the hell pay for it or take one of those things. That feels right. But take another harm as a very. You get shot. It was a loud boom from over the hill, and they have a sniper nest.
Well,
I think it's fairly superficial, so you get like grazed on an arm, but
appropriately, my second harm box is angry.
yeah, that seems right.
Isley just
They
like
have a sniper nest.
bristles. Ooh.
Hey, they have a sniper nest. That's bad, right, guys? That seems bad. You might keep taking harm if you just let that happen.
Can I?
Well, I think we've done enough.
Is?
I think
Yeah.
we've done enough harm to the machine,
Have
so we
we?
can probably skedoodle. Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely. I got a full success. Remember?
yeah, that was definitely that. But I don't think after one shot with like echoes, you definitely can't pin anything down. Like the whole point of sniping is to not be seen while you're doing it, and I think that applies here.
Well,
They have
but
specialized suits
like-
sometimes that she doesn't. Insane Jane, who's sniping you over the hill, doesn't. But like they could.
fucking hell.
I'm not giving anything away here. You saw her drive off with
I
a
know.
huge sniper rifle.
Um,
It's called foreshadowing, kids.
right. Do I at least have like an idea of the direction, and also
Yeah,
has
I
the
think you
institute
could get like a 90-degree angle. You
Okay.
definitely can't like pin it down, but like it came in this side, right? You
sure,
got
right, yeah.
it went into the tank you're standing in front.
Now that
It's
I've been
not
shot, time to do some trigonometry.
would you like to give me a trigonometry roll?
no.
It's a good thing I brought my protractor.
But I would like to know, has the Institute outfitted all of us with those cool little, like, in all the superhero movies, like,
Yes.
comm things? Okay.
You can talk. I'm not.
Then I want to tell our...
I don't want to fuck around with that
Good.
logistics.
Then I want to table talk, tell our friends that I just got freaking shot! Do something about that!
I'll give you
Angry.
another.
Ma'am, this is a Wendy's.
It's fair. I'll give you kind of just another sound, maybe. It's over like the hills. Like I'm not. That's not. You can kind of generally narrow down a region after a couple more shots ring out. I don't think there's really anything you can necessarily do to stop that from happening. But if you're, moving and like have fog coming up, which you do, which was cool and I didn't expect, but y'all got out of it. Aren't standing. Anyhow, under the circumstances, I don't think the next two cause harm. I think you can kind of triangulate a little bit, get a general sense of the direction you would want to head in.
Okay. Are we heading in that direction, or are we sending our friends in that direction?
You're getting shot.
Right. Well, I guess that's what I'm asking Ganymede. Like, have we done enough sabotage to this thing, or do we need to keep sabotaging?
Yes, we have, so we can just get out of here. We don't have to worry about the sniper. We can just get out of here.
We should probably all circle around so that we're leaving in a direction like that leaves the crawler between us and the sniper. Does that make sense? Oh wow, this is a fun effect.
Ooh.
Woo.
Thanks, Zoo.
Segmentation is fun.
I'm having
okay, yeah.
fun.
Magic.
Sorry.
Mine doesn't work.
You're not doing background nonsense. That's your real background, you sucker. No, wait, I'm on the ISS. Anyone who tells you different is lying. That's why gravity keeps applying to me.
TTRPGs in space.
But it's space
Anyhow,
echo.
Peter, you
Shouldn't
were
it not echo?
trying to find an exit vector, but is running kind of the plan? Because I love that for you guys, honestly.
Yep.
Cool. Then that's some sort of a diffuse. I think I probably need at least a couple of you diffusing because there are like 2 or 3 situations happening right now. For instance, I think the first thing before you can like do a general retreat is that Sheryl and Peter are kind of on the wrong side of things.
Sheryl and Xander.
Oh, fuck. Yep. I know who people are. I was so focused.
It's okay.
It's fine.
Well, we've both got great facial hair, so I
That's
can't
so
blame you
true.
for getting confused.
Yeah,
You're just both
very
so
similar.
handsome.
all white dudes look the same to you. I get it.
Yeah, that's true. Except Matt Bomer. God, he's handsome. All right, what are we doing here?
Woo!
We're running away.
now.
What? No, but for real, we're running away.
Yep.
I wish I'd pulled Hosier.
So
It's fine.
that's a sway roll, right? Or am I completely wrong?
That's definitely sway.
Okay.
Yeah, if you're trying to get on the correct side of the lines, that's I think the first thing. Or alternatively, you guys could try and break through to them so that you can retreat that way, which does give you that better exit angle. I think that Peter was talking about.
Let's do that.
But is of course more of a challenge. So then that's your cool followers acting under orders.
Let's do the other one. All right. What roll is that then,
Which one?
Cheryl?
Wait. Okay, so wait. Our options were what?
So Sheryl and Xander can go to the group.
Uh-huh.
If you do that, your exit is like more straightforward, but not covered by their shit. If the group breaks through to you, that's a bigger fight. That's definitely more trouble, but then you can retreat kind of behind like this now basically wheelless, like Xander completely ruined its ability to be at all mobile.
Amazing.
So you can run away past it.
Are there any unattended
basically.
Raider motorcycles lying about?
Ooh. Chop our way out of here.
Way too
I
excited
gave
about
you that.
I'm into it.
No, I
I'm
gave it
into
to you.
Let's do it.
I didn't
You know I
think
ride
of
a
it.
speeder
That's
bike.
what I love.
You know I ride a speeder bike.
Is that you thought of a cool thing.
Oh, I didn't. Thank you, Qui-Gon Bowers. That was a good idea.
We got viewers. All right. No, that's very good.
All right, I need to
phoned
start
a
reading
friend.
the chat.
That's what the chat is good for. Yeah, we would like to. I think we would like to snag motorcycles to escape.
I love that. That's the quick thinking roll. A sway type diffuse.
Okay.
I love diffuse because like it works so many ways. All right.
Do we each have to do one, or is it just like one of us?
I'm gonna say one of you with advantage here because there's two of you doing it, and like, what are we doing here? And like, if consequences happen, then you both have to handle them anyways.
Marvelous.
So,
How's your sway?
Goose egg.
Me too.
hot?
Great. Let's do
At
it.
least you got advantage.
Hey. You want
You want to do it?
Huh?
You go ahead.
Okay, I will. Oh God. With advantage.
I mean, it's the same
None.
roll for either of you. It does
Yep.
not.
Ah,
We'll do
but my
the
luck.
same
But my luck
bad
sucks.
things.
Bad.
You don't know how to listen. Here's
They
the
took
thing.
the keys out. Fuck.
No, that's not it. You don't even know how to start a motorcycle. You thought that was a cool idea. Ganymede does, and like his problem is in fact that they took the keys. But you're just like, shit. This motorcycle was such a cool idea. I don't actually know what I'm doing here. I get that. That's fair. But now you're sitting astride some motorcycles, and I'm just gonna hand you both another harm because you're in the midst of a melee.
Oh boy.
And this is getting rough for you, Islae. I
Oh,
was
boy.
planning on killing Ganymede, but you decided
Not
to
happening.
take the harm. Actually, no, I gave out the random harm, and it was
It's
to
fine.
you. Stop
It's-
putting yourself in danger.
It's fine. What? That's what I'm here for.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
I think this one also isn't a stat penalty anyways,
No.
so...
Now I
yeah.
am bruised, angry, and drained.
Yeah, that checks.
So now I'm like still look angry, but like that sort of like drawn, panicky look.
Mm-hmm.
Can I jump on Islae's motorcycle and we drive away together?
Aw.
I feel like that's what the sway was, is that they've kind of secured their motorcycles enough that this isn't as viable an option as you had initially hoped it was.
Can we flee into the hills?
That's certainly an option. Which hills? There's the
Ones
hills
that are
that the
away-
shots are coming from. There's
The
the
ones that
hills
are
that your
away from
friends,
there because I don't want Islae to get shot again.
and there's the ones behind the
Thanks.
thing.
I appreciate
So you
it.
want to kind of break through.
So I have an ability called Just Enough where I can rifle
Ooh.
through my pockets to find stuff.
What do you got? What do you got? What
One
do
of
you
the
got?
things I can find is something to treat a wound.
Okay.
I feel like
Yep.
I can give you a thing to treat a wound, but you probably won't be able to apply it until we get to safety.
Yeah, that's very good to know because I think Islae is at a point where if she doesn't get treatment, that will suck. And so getting early treatment probably is good. And I'm glad that you have that. But right now, you're in the midst of a melee sitting on a bike that has some sort of lock that's, it's got a combo bike lock on it. Oh,
Nice.
shucks.
Can I make a sway roll for us to try and just flee on foot using the vehicle as cover?
Yes.
Okay.
You also, I didn't present this option, don't have to meet up. You can just run in two separate directions. I guess that is fair. Anyhow,
Well,
give
then
me that
I'm going
roll.
to throw the bandages at you so that you have them in case we get split up.
Okay. Thanks.
You have bandages. That's a good thing. Give me that sway roll so we can see if running away is an option.
Do I have advantage from the
Yes.
dry ice and the vehicle?
Oh, yeah.
And the...
Or from Sheryl helping. Whatever it is, you have advantage. Something good is happening here. It's not just you doing this. Hey, success.
Whoa!
Woohoo!
There you
Well,
go.
Yes.
All right. Well, half the group
If
is
there's
safe.
one thing
I
I'm
have
good
some
at, it's turning my tail and run.
bad news for the other half who are no longer distracted and being shot at by snipers. Your followers are now quality 2, so that sucks. And you're still there, and that's not ideal. Do you want to run? I'd run. You don't have to run. But there are snipers. Well, at least one sniper.
Make like a leaf cutter ant and cut and leave. I don't know.
Yes.
Thought if I made it relatable and bug related.
Fair
That
enough.
would, that would
motivation.
prompt
Guys.
movement.
Aren't you
Can
supposed to be
also
writing
give me a
that
sway
down?
roll.
Should I be writing that down? I'm sorry.
You said you had to write down every joke, right?
You said a
Nice.
sway roll?
Sway's the running. If you're trying something else, you can roll a different
No,
thing.
hell yeah, I'm good at sway. I'm doing that shit.
Okay. We determined sway as like quick physical action.
Something
And
I
it
did
did some
right.
other stuff.
Woo!
Damn it! All right. Well, I guess I can't hurt you too much either as you run away.
Something I did write earlier is, are any of the raiders children? I fight them first. So I have been writing things down.
Superb.
Wait, that I just talk about eugenics and everyone's horrified, but Xander wants to fight children and everyone's
Well,
fine
you were
with it.
serious.
Yeah, you were very
He wrote that in his
earnest.
joke book. He read that from his joke book. The joke book that he'd established as being full of jokes.
That's
Fine.
true. That is canon.
Didn't sound like a joke to
Damn
me.
it. I hate to say this, but
Yeah.
since you were disappointed that Peter got away so easily, don't forget that you purchased 2 disadvantages for yourself to give it
Oh
to
no,
us.
that's fine. I can give you some trivial harm as we like end this scene.
Oh, good.
But like, if I give them 2 harm each, they're still at the trivial boxes. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
that's
like, what are we doing?
It's not worth it unless somebody's bloody.
They come back well, yeah. It's like unlike D&D, you only roll if the roll matters. Like here, yeah, I could hurt you a bit more, but who cares? I think maybe let's call it. You come back with a lighter defense squad. There's like 2 of the 6 dudes, so that's Sandy and Landy. They're very sad. I know they were
Landy,
twins.
I don't have a Landy on my
Six
list. I did write this
Mandy
down.
and Randy and whoever else there was.
I don't fucking.
It was-
6 tuplets.
It was Randy, Bandy, Dandy, Mandy, Wandy, and Sandy, actually. I don't have a Landy. So who is
But I
this?
said Landy. I don't.
Who is this mysterious stranger? Maybe Landy is like their middle name, but then their given name is
Maybe
Landy.
that's their last name, and like it just fucking sucks. Their parents are the worst. That would make sense. Anyhow,
I feel like we're
Well,
really
yeah, I
flying
think
by
you
the seat
guys
of our
can-
pants on this episode.
oh yeah, we are. Are you kidding me? But you disabled a crawler, and honestly, that's next. We'll kind of transition, I think, to some family stuff. So why don't we take a bio break? It's a bit early comparatively, but this
That's
feels like a
okay.
solid kind of intermission point
That's okay.
in the story show.
Yeah, I think so. So yeah, thanks for hanging out. Even though this is a wild ride, it feels very disorganized. We're
I'm
glad you're
loving it.
here. Thank you for hanging out with us. Go do a bio break. Don't forget our campaign is still live for the Bail Project on Tiltify. I think those are all like the announcement-y things for right now. So yeah, we'll see you soon. Bye. And we're back. Hello everyone. We're back. We got some snacks. Hope you enjoyed your bio break. What are we doing now?
That's a great question. Thank you for asking. Right as
When
I
a
took a sip of
server
water.
comes to your table and you've got like your mouth full and they're like, "How is everything?" You're like,
I mean, that's partially up to you, is it not?
Well, I mean,
After all,
like,
you have.
where
I think
are
in the
we?
short term, I think again.
Is it time for whale revenge?
No,
Is it?
I am
That's
very
a great
hurt.
question. But I think the result of this exciting expedition is that you have kind of definitely not long-term neutralized this threat, but at the very least, the biohack raiders aren't gonna like be raiding anyone in the near-term future.
They won't be bio back for a while.
Terrible, Sheryl. Thank you.
Ah.
It's rough. That's rough. All right.
I feel like I can't let Xander be out here alone.
No, I appreciate it.
No, you really can.
Also an option, Peter, I'm gonna give you that like greenish route as a route. That's your route now. You can go from the city to the failed catacombs.
When you said greenish
here
root,
now.
I thought you meant like a physical
Me
root.
too.
Like I was like,
That's fair.
this is
Well,
like, I'm all about the
Here, have
collecting
this
of the.
plant.
I will say that the route is traveled often by your beetles, so any sort of chitin or whatever that they shed probably at this point is kind of mixed into the snow. There's definitely also a lot of dirt from just like, runner tracks and stuff like that. But like, talk to me. We can make your thing look cool.
Okay, well, interesting fact. There's a separate word for insect poop. Insect poop is called frass.
It is.
All right.
So yeah, their frass has stained the
Cool.
The whole
So I guess
pathway
it's kind
greenish.
of a brown road, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
Well, it depends on what
Super
the
great and fun.
insects eat.
Super
Mushrooms is what I established,
Yeah,
which
I
I
guess
imagine
that's-
is brown.
Yeah.
Well, I changed his color. Congratulations. You did
Yay!
this.
Oh, good. Oh, yay.
Likewise, I think...
Hey, in 1,000 years, this is going to be super fertile land, and all of my people will own it. So, suck it, y'all. This is planning.
That's fair.
Are you
That's
sure
fair.
you'll own it then?
Well, we have a foothold now.
Let's see. I'm gonna just hand out.
Those of his people that were deemed fit enough to reproduce will own it.
Right, yeah.
Jesus. Xander, I'm gonna get rid of your need for recruits. I think that you came
I
back
looked
with.
so cool that the Raiders do.
Yeah, exactly. Well, maybe. Do you want to give me something persuasion-y? Let's talk. I'm saying that a lot now, and I don't care for it.
Something persuasion-y. What do you mean?
That's, I guess probably I want to look at the family moves, see if kind of like, because I think you could maybe engage with them on that basis if you're like looking to do that seriously. I was gonna say that you like came back looking cool, but like give me a plus reach rolls to see if it says calling on your family's allies. I was thinking for conducting diplomacy, but like we're gonna just do it as
Partial
kind of
success.
all right, then yeah, I think you look so cool that you get some bikers, but like you don't like dissolve the full raider party to now be your people. But yeah, now you have some bikers who only need to wear vests on the surface because they're so cool and tough.
The raiders
And
become lawgivers. Ooh.
A couple of them, not
Compelling.
like a lot, but enough to I think satisfy you. Not wealthy in recruits, but you can resolve that need.
I
Peter-
incorporate some of the parts that I stole from their vehicle into my armor.
Ooh, yes, of course. Peter, I gave you a cool road, and I think that's fine. If you want to argue for something gained from that, but that feels about right. I think
a cool road, and then also people not attacking us anymore is all.
Yeah, exactly.
Those are both things that we're very into. So we're like, yeah.
Likewise, Jordan, I think that secures more your ability to keep doing secret missions than it does necessarily resolve any need.
Yep.
Okay. And that just leaves Sheryl. I don't necessarily know that there's anything like legit to kind of give you here between like your need. You have way more surpluses than anyone, which is cool. But your needs don't really line up with anything you would have necessarily gained there. So why don't you take a treaty on someone?
Woohoo.
Any of the other players.
Oh gosh.
Just from,
Let's
being
see.
so... Actually, hang on. You may have an alliance move about that anyways. Let me take a little... Let's see. I think that's a family thing, so I'll have to look at the actual playbook. Love it when we look at the rules. Servants, Pioneers of the Depths. Here you are. Sorry. I thought the alliance move was at the family level.
I thought so too.
It might not be in the quick book though.
Is that
Which would be fair.
Is that the lend aid?
It
Move,
should be formatted something like when something gain one treaty.
Oh.
Peter, I know when you have the perfect resource, that's when it happens. Alliance move, there it is, just above inheritance. Okay,
Oh, okay.
It is in the full book. It doesn't seem to be in the printouts, which is rude, but also fair. It's, I think there's this. Anyway, so let's actually read your alliance move. When you trade a family surplus harvested from the seas, that's not applicable. Yeah, take a treaty.
Okay. Let's see. I have
no, these are a bit messed up, and you haven't necessarily been super adversarial to each other, so they haven't been like super necessarily anyways.
Yeah. Well, I have two.
So far,
I have 2 treaty on the Shepherds and 3 treaty on the Institute, but I owe the Bowerbirds 3 treaty. And I feel like protecting Ganymede's life might mean that I get to erase one of those negative treaties.
Makes sense to
Makes
me.
sense to me.
Cool.
I
Saved your butt.
will double check, but I
And my
think treaties
other
can
parts.
exist in
And your other parts.
opposite directions, but I'm not positive. I'll look it up between sessions. It's not that important right now. And at any rate, using it that way is probably fine.
Cool.
So, cool. So yeah, now you kind of, that's the lay of this land. I don't necessarily know who has what family goals, but you all have needs that are bad. Does anyone kind of have anything on the map that's important to them right now, or that they want that's interesting to their family that they want to grab, or any of the other moves about?
So my family owns the vault by the maximum security prison, but do we
Yes.
know anything? But do we know anything about the maximum security prison?
I mostly exterior, I gotta say. It's broken down enough. Like, it's been sitting out in the elements for a millennia, so it's not like the walls are secure anymore. There's definitely crumbling and all that.
Okay.
Not a lot of solar cracking though, so that's nice. There's just not as many heat cycles. That's there's upsides to a lack of sun for a millennium. It's not all downside.
That was a silver lining.
Yeah, exactly. But I don't think because we haven't as really gone in and explored that.
That's one option.
If you
but
want.
I feel like there is no super big motive to explore it other than
Well-
making sure that there's nothing there that would threaten my secret stash of family goods at the vault. So
I mean,
Your
you're
what?
out of
I
some
know.
things.
my secret stash in
That
my
speaks
secret
to-
vault.
Mhm. It speaks to him.
It speaks to me.
Is
Oh,
your
dear.
secret stash all twigs?
I
Is
hope
it?
so.
It's dyes
That's the plot
primarily
twist.
is
After
the
a bloody civil war, and then the shepherds of the cave are like, "Finally, we've acquired the vault." And then you open it, and just twigs fall out.
I believe he asked for a twig
With,
last time. He got very
dyed pigments.
excited because we didn't know where the twigs came from.
Oh yeah,
We have no
Where
idea
did
what we could
those
do with the
twigs
twig.
come from? That's fucked up. It's okay. It's not my
Get
problem.
twiggy with it.
It is my problem. I just don't choose to address it. But if it
Oh.
was somebody's problem,
Oh,
it'd be
Peter
mine.
got
I'm just
broken.
trying to talk through this as if it were not happening. I mean, so there is a move for when we have lulls. I just need to find it.
There's a lull move.
Yeah, it's not great for you guys.
Kick the players in the
roll-
pants move. Uh-oh.
It's called In Want. When perils looming over your family threaten to come to pass, roll plus needs. Just to kind of start a session off to figure out. It's right here in the chapter of story moves. At this just to see if it's actually applicable or if I should just do a thing. But certainly if you guys have resources, then I don't have to do my needs thing at you, but I'm also fine doing my needs thing at you. Because that kind of moves the story along. Let us actually, yeah, let's do that.
But-
Just kind of to start this age, now that we've resolved this kind of immediate conflict, let's recognize kind of some of the wants of the era. If you look at page 68, which is of course one short of a cool page, there's the in want move, and we roll plus needs, which each of you have.
Sorry, is that 68 in the book or the handout?
In the actual book. Let me see if it's. That's just it. That seems like it makes sense to kind of start this age, so we kind of understand kind of where everyone's at. It's a basically because it just adds a little bit of adversity, but nothing like crazy bad. Just, some uphill struggles that we can then kind of try and work through. And that makes sense to me for where we just got to. So let's do it. So why don't we go in the order I have, which is more or less random. My first one is Xander, who has 3 needs. Would you care to roll 2d6 plus 3? And we can look at that.
I have 4 needs, don't I?
Do you? I just
Leadership,
got rid of
transport, trade, and barter goods.
Trade. I don't have trade here. I must have missed it. I believe that. So yeah, because you have like a lot of surpluses too. So yeah, roll 2d6 plus 4 and we'll see where kind of everyone's at. Just kind of now that we're zooming back from that like kind of close in thing that's happening at the start of this age, we can kind of see where we're at.
And
Well, pick one of your needs.
do what to one of my needs?
Pick one, and then we can kind of create a crisis around it.
Crisis of leadership, maybe? That could be interesting.
Ooh. Yeah, that makes sense, because Ganymede's kind of
Who
not
hired all
a
these
leader.
bikers?
He's an outsider, and especially with kind of a change in the power structure, with some outside elements who are kind of into the tougher side of things and not necessarily quite as much the protective side of things. I think there's a bit of a leadership void. We can pick together. I can if nobody, but I think, It's a family member is in trouble is one of them, and somebody's ransoming them. And I think it'd be cool if we started with Ganymede being like kidnapped, maybe by those bikers who were infiltrating, and then we can kind of. How does that sound to everyone? That sounds like cool, and then we'll kind of
They
go
seem
around.
so friendly.
in
How
terms
can you
of the
not trust
crises.
someone with full sleeve tattoos?
I know. Oh gosh.
So wait,
I mean,
does that mean they did become followers of the Bowerbirds or not?
Some of
Sort of
both.
plot.
I think in the long term, as we resolve this, we'll see what exactly of that is true. I think there's definitely a genuine intention to their defection, but they also kind of saw an opportunity. Like they were above ground riding with him and nobody else, and then things happened. With I think Insane Jane showed up, and they were all like, "Hey, we
said,
captured
"Guys,
this
let's
guy.
Ganymede
This
said,
guy's
"Guys,
our
let's be the best of
prisoner
friends."
now." And so instead, yeah, here we go. And let's kind of maybe look at this one, and then we'll roll need for you guys later and find out what everyone else's things are up to. But this sounds like a fun scenario that now we're in. Ganymede, you're not with everyone else, but
I don't know if it's a fun scenario because, Islae didn't notice the last time I was gone for an extended period of time. So
it's true.
she was all like, "You were gone?" when I walked into the meeting.
Did it hurt your feelings that much that you remembered it?
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm bitching to these bikers about it now.
there. Before
When
we
when your
believe-
kidnappers become your therapist, it's worrying.
That's called Stockholm Syndrome.
I made a video about that, too.
Plug.
Of course, the original is a whole. Anyhow. Cool. Then, Ganymede, I'm just gonna give you one cool harm to start this. Everyone else's harm's been resolved because you've all had some rest.
Yay.
Ganymede, you got knocked over the head as this all started, and let's kind of. We don't actually have to zoom out. We never really did, so let's stay zoomed in. You all still have your cool gear. As Ganymede, you even have many knives. They're just not on you right now because you've been kidnapped and are being held for ransom in this no longer mobile rolling fortress. They're annoyed about that, it turns out.
Oh
Who would
no.
have thought? I know. It's a bummer. I wasn't. And the rest of you kind of just received a ransom letter.
Wait, the rest of us did or his family did?
Because you as a council more than anything. We can definitely quick character his family in this. It just seemed more like something that would be of interest to everyone. But maybe it's not. Maybe you just get a letter. But it's roughly towards the council of which you all have members.
Are they letters like cut out of ancient
Yes.
cosmopolitan magazines?
They're welded. No, they are just like welded. These giant letters welded to like a sheet of metal, and
So
it's
it's
just
the
delivered.
heaviest letter ever.
It's very heavy.
So many stamps.
We have Ganymede. Please send food or something. I don't. Machine parts, I think, is like we're not. Currency isn't really a thing right now. I don't think. It's not exactly post-scarcity, but at the same time, and everyone pulling together barter society, I don't think that's the way that they would have gone. But that's just me, an idealist. So you have a cool ransom letter.
Are we ourselves? Are we?
Are we ourselves?
Well,
who are we
to you.
really?
Who are we?
So roughly, I would say this is something that the families and I think even Xander, the Bowerbirds, who their representatives who aren't Ganymede directly, are at the council, and so you can weigh in too, kind of in. So it's sent to the council of which you are mostly members in some capacity.
Notably, all of the leaders of the Bowerbirds are like noticeably more regal and well put together than Ganymede ever was. And at first, it's confusing because it's like he's part of this group. You know, they're like wise and like dressed well,
and just have like really good jawlines. Yeah,
yeah.
Not Harry Cavill shit. No, for sure.
Charon gets
What?
along better with all of them than he does with you, but he kind of views you as that like
The hanger on to the cool kids.
Yeah,
think
exactly. Like he's like you're an unfortunate burden, but also very. You bailed him out of a lot of bad situations, and you have value. It's just
Resentful friendship, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah,
Brings back my college days, huh? All right.
Oh dear.
Woof.
We bring up a lot of things.
Sounds like
Yikes.
it sounds
need
like
to
you need to
unpack.
get kidnapped by the therapy bikers.
The therapy bike.
I wish. Honestly,
Oh man.
it's fine. But Ganymede's getting therapy as well from the bikers. In fact, do you want to roll the talking thing? I know we're like goofing around here, but if you give me a diffuse roll on kind of, I gotta find. Sorry, put my slipper back on as well. Where's the thing? There it is. Diffuse. The one that, if you want to kind of give me a sense of how much they like or dislike you with a fast talking, which is plus sway.
Uh-oh.
No, it could be good. Like, well,
They like you or dislike you as you talk.
yeah, no, that's fair. Like, you rolled
Hey
a
guys,
5,
where are we going?
which is a total miss.
Oh man.
And so you don't find that much receptiveness to your, try to pour out your heart to them. They're like, oh, okay, we're cool, tough bikers. We don't need to talk about our emotions because we're too tough for them. That's how emotions work, by the way. I'm a psychologist.
Does that mean you can read minds? What am I thinking about right now?
Explosions.
It was actually bugs.
Oh, I was getting that from Peter. I thought
See, I figured it would throw you off. I could hide behind his
it worked. It worked.
signature.
So, do the rest of your families care that Ganymede's been canceled?
Canceled?
Me.
Cancel.
Kidnapped. I want to die right now, but I'm not gonna. We're gonna push through this. My face. Look at this. All right. Well. Yeah.
Canceled.
All right. Well, kidnap. You know what? That's what they call it in the future now.
Oh no.
That's how they do it to you.
That's very dire.
Woof. All right.
Woof.
So you've been kidnapped. I'm gonna say the right word this time, but not every time. You've been kidnapped. Do the rest of your family's care?
Well, do the Bowerbirds care? Like, are they especially concerned?
We were going to
Was
kidnap
hoping
him
so.
ourselves. So this is just saving us time.
Oh damn.
Wait,
Wait,
what
what?
does that even
Wait,
mean?
what?
Why would you kidnap someone who works for you.
Hold on, I'm getting a call.
Oh, we're going through a tunnel.
I thought you said the rest of them were different.
Yeah.
That's not the read I'm getting.
If you want them to be different, you're going to need someone else to roleplay them.
Understandable. All right. So the Bowerbirds are kind of cool with this. Is anyone not cool with this? Because we can just kill Ganymede and move on to whoever the Bowerbirds' next character is.
I'm not cool with this. I'm attached to Ganymede.
Are you?
They might start sending back toes or something. Like,
well, I'm not attached to Ganymede, but Charon is.
Okay.
Well, we probably should retrieve him because he knows a lot of sensitive information.
It would set a bad precedent, too, if you let your operatives just, like, straight up get jacked.
And he's really ticklish. So, like, if they want that information, it'd be really easy to get. So we should probably retrieve him.
Why do you guys know that he's ticklish?
Yeah, that's such a weird thing to mention.
The Institute definitely doesn't know that.
Really?
That was so creepy.
The way you say that makes me think the Institute definitely does know that.
Good to know. I guess now we know that about... Well, now the Institute knows it. And we all know it. And we can never unknow it.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to like, I guess, yeah, I think they're demanding both supplies in terms of like components and food is their return demand, because again, like $500, where do you spend that? The ice store? That's not it.
They want wasp anti-venom.
I think it would be represent a fairly serious
Look, we tried a non-lethal approach last time.
Agreed.
I say this time we wipe them out.
Send a message?
Yeah.
Whoa. Dark.
Okay.
Has it been 2 weeks? Because we could unleash the wasps.
And this time they'll be allergic.
I'm going to say yes. I think kind of definitely just like some time has passed. It's abstract, but it's definitely enough for whatever. Unless you want to put it down, I'm not gonna. I don't know what time is. Not in my real life, not in this game.
Nope.
Let's get.
Yep.
Oh, that's fair.
Well, I hope you guys figure out how to save Ganymede soon. They've tied him up and they're forcing him to watch Star Wars.
Yeah, he has to learn what a Jawa Prowler is because they talked about how. What did we establish about Star Wars previously?
No,
Tell
we
me,
established
Sheryl.
there was only one movie that survived. This was also last game. You said that Paul Blart was the only movie that survived.
That's right. That was a tangent. We get into a lot of tangents here on this
McElroy
show.
Brothers related bit.
Yeah.
All sorts of bits. Listen, but
what
no.
if it was like a VHS tape that had Star Wars written on it, but they like recorded Paul Blart over it? So we're under the impression that this is fabled Star Wars.
No, they're raiders. They're bandits. Look, they've got those pirate movies. This is like
I'm willing to suspend a lot of disbelief, but the fact that anybody would record Paul Blart Mall Cop over top of Star Wars, that's
accidents happen, man.
So you know how
I was willing to believe that
Wasp's
only weakness is brass knuckles.
VHS tapes of Paul Blart Mall Cops are the actual currency. I changed my mind. We're back to currency. Congrats.
I feel like that requires much bigger pockets than Caps does.
Yeah, it sucks for everyone, but Peter made it happen.
Thanks, Peter.
Thanks, Peter. Are you going to sue this guy or not?
Oh, man, I guess we should.
You don't have to. He can die. I don't care.
Does he want to be rescued?
Be ideal.
Yeah, Ganymede. If I know Ganymede, he's a soul that needs to wander, and I think of him trapped and unable to journey across the wasteland, and my heart breaks for him.
Do all of your TTRPG characters pontificate like that?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
If you want them to be different, as
Xander said. Bad news about my NPCs, by the way.
It's about range, people! Where did I get these casts? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. You were like, oh, you know who's really good at acting? Scientists.
Hey! I had a conversation about this the other day. I am upset at anyone who said, all the scientists are not good storytellers. No. Some of us might be better than others, but, like, there are lots of scientists who are good storytellers.
I'm great at telling stories as long as I'm the main character and I get to talk a lot.
I mean, that's fine. So you're, what are you doing about it? Are you just like being like, hell yeah, let's do it?
No, sorry, that was just a bit. I don't want to talk anymore.
Oh, that's fair.
Are you serious about this full frontal assault thing?
Do you want to?
No, I'm just serious about the killing all of them thing.
Negotiate?
Maybe we can poison them? Can we poison them?
Probably.
Well, they wanted food, right?
They did want food.
Instead of a Trojan horse, we give them a Trojan cake?
They'll love that and will definitely not kill Ganymede. He won't be the first to test any rations, I swear.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I lied. They don't trust you.
Well, we just make them give Ganymede back when we give them the food. That seems fair.
I'm sure that they, with the upper hand, would definitely comply with that sort of request. Question. Have you taught your centipedes to play dead?
Yeah. No,
that eyebrow movement was really close.
You can have.
Because you could, like, tell them to play dead and be like, here, we eat bugs, this is the food we have to offer, and just have the one that they ask Ganymede to eat, like, be actually dead / not move, and then, like, all the rest of them just jump up and attack? I don't know.
I gotta say,
that's a terrible idea.
Some pretty advanced training anyways. Like, I don't mind you using them for attack, because who cares? Use whatever beetles. That's great. Not just
As you know, I'm a fan of getting all of the crazy ideas out of the way first.
It's very good. It's just...
You gotta think like Ganymede to rescue Ganymede.
Definitely also
I'm
will be
trying.
operating with a level of distrust here. I think
Right.
it's fair to anticipate, and I guess whatever voice on the council that I represent is mentioning this rather than it being out of character.
Well, you have, like, 3 factions,
like 3
right?
or 4 guys, yeah. But like we haven't focused too much on them yet, so I don't want to assign any of them this neutral character voice that I haven't been bothering to use. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there are people in them. Let's just leave this. Let it happen. Anyhow, what are you doing?
Do we know where the raiders are holding Ganymede?
Yes, because you disabled their citadel. It's now no longer a rolling citadel, but it is still armored. But like, it's kind of stuck in between a couple hills. Go ahead, Sheryl. You're raising your hand. You don't have to.
Sorry, I was
just say things.
thinking at the same time. Do we have a good idea of where on the surface corresponds to where in our caves? I guess what I'm thinking about is, like, is the citadel technically parked, like, above one of the caves of the homeland?
It's a multi-mile elevator ride. I think you can map it if you want. I don't think that even necessarily your caves go out that far. But at the same time, you could probably find a spot that was roughly below it but it would definitely be by a significant bit. You couldn't just like, do 2.5 hours of mining and find yourself there. But I think if you want to undermine them, that isn't impossible, is what I will give you. But your city and the surface are pretty detached. Because, like I said, mines.
Yeah.
Mines. Sorry.
I had the same thought as Sheryl, so I'm just
sorry.
I'm also reeling from the realization that we can't like burrow up through the ground and rescue Ganymede.
Let me take a look at some moves for you, see if we can come up with any sort of burrowing move to set this up, because I don't think like claiming by force is more about resource and like power up, hold together. Yeah, none of these quite like 1-to-1 fit with like tuggling up above. I'm okay with letting that be the approach, though. I just think, it's definitely it's not an easy approach, is I think fair to say. I don't mind if you wanna like try and tunnel in. It's just requires probably like some exploration as well. Like you'll probably have to make whatever the wilderness survival rolls are a few times to kind of find a spot. Which again, it's possible. I just don't want to give you an unrealistic option. My role here is to be as fair an arbiter as possible.
I feel like it would be tricky to unless we had like adjacent caves already.
Yeah,
I assume they've given us some kind of timeline.
Yeah, there's definitely. I don't really care what it was, but there's a date or a time or whatever.
Right.
That is
presumably
imminent,
if they're
not, like crazy close. They expect results is, I think, fair to say. Go ahead. Sorry.
I get nothing.
Nah. Fair enough. But yeah, there's a deadline. It's just like nebulous enough that I don't want to define it.
And then Ganymede walks into the meeting and he says, "Hey guys, what are you all talking about?"
It's a great question. Why don't you roll? No. I can't let you do
that would be an amazing plot twist.
That would be. I mean, I want that for you if like that convincing them to like you roll had gone so well.
It's even worse than the last one.
Maybe I would have let that happen because that would have been even wilder. But at
instead,
the same
I just
time,
get beaten with a tire iron.
Right, exactly. You got beaten by. There's that harm that I already gave you. Now it has applied because they're like, "Shut
it's
up,
an imposter. Get him."
It was a whole thing.
It's like in I've already been made fun of by some of the people in this group, I think, for MASH being my favorite TV show. But when Frank Burns gets captured by the North Koreans and he talks so much that they like kick him out and don't continue kidnapping him because he's just too annoying.
None of us watched MASH is the real major concern. I think more than like, I'm glad they made fun of you, but I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm fairly certain that was me making fun of Sheryl for being old.
I guessed Peter.
Oh man, is that my brand?
That's your brand now.
Somehow I appreciate
Playful sarcasm.
Playful sarcasm. Oh my gosh. Jordan, do you have any ideas that are better than our bad ideas?
That's back. Oh, it's a MASH hat. Okay, Peter watched it.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't have anything useful here.
I like what's happening with you.
What's with the sleeves? Yeah, that's weird.
It's very good. No, you don't have to. Keep it up if you want. I love it. I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
It's because my couch is the same color as my jacket.
That'll do. Yep. The water keeps on disappearing. It's very funny. Anyhow, I apologize.
Bowerbirds the Bowerbirds do have a surplus of weapons.
They do have a surplus of weapons. They are definitely. Well, I guess it's up to you, Xander, how much they're willing to share them for this particular mission. But I have to assume
they're definitely willing to share their weapons to get Ganymede back because he knows where a lot of the secret caches are in the wilderness. He doesn't want the raiders getting their hands on them.
Is that
a little bit of an Aragorn vibe, and I love it.
Is that the right tool for the job thing?
Oh, what? Which one?
It's a family move that says...
No, for sure. That could be.
Yeah.
Money, family, erase inappropriate surplus. And I'm going to go with mitigate here to say that, because I can't give you the full resolve here. I don't think, they're looking to trade a bunch of weapons, for instance.
I didn't think we were trading the weapons.
No, for sure. Using them. That's what I mean. Is there a more mitigation? I'm willing to kind of semi-use it just because I don't even necessarily. Listen, you guys can use it as that if you'd like. It doesn't have to, though. They do have weapons, and accessing weapons isn't the same as like using up your weapons for that move. But certainly you are not unweaponed for this. I think it is fair to say.
Mm.
Is that your background now? God bless.
Hmm?
He's got some clappy hands.
Oh. No, it's just it's an emote on
you
Zoom.
can react.
It lets you. Oh god,
like that.
I'm so
You can also
old
give
and
a-
out of touch. I see now. That's
Gosh.
not very good.
This is great TV, guys.
Okay, I'm sorry. It goes away eventually, I hope.
Yeah,
It does.
and
Yeah.
you can't see them very well because of our color blocks anyway. But...
Well, this sucks. I'm sorry for like a minute of bad content. Let's get back to the good stuff. What do you get?
Only 1 minute?
Jordan didn't have. No, that was the only bad minute we've had so far. Jordan, you were basically kind of. So that's fine. I just like. So why don't we go for your cool digging idea, because it seems to be the more potent one.
Oh, boy.
Right? That feels. It does. We're all still, I think, equipped from the last zoom in. So unless anyone wants to change up their gear, you're welcome to, because this kind of represents having gone back to the base, so you could. But I think we can roll on into it, see what happens. Xander, do you want to make a quick character from your family to kind of just be here instead of being the captured guy sitting in the... That feels more apropos.
Like, you want me to go through the steps of creating a quick character, or do you want me to come up with a name?
At least come up with a name and pick the role. Actually, your role is agent. You don't even have to. Pick an inherited move and a name. I think that's the important stuff. We can gear you identically unless you really need to change. But do that. Well, kind of before we do that, I assume you're not going to be who's leading. That's usually Islae, who's kind of, although Peter, we're kind of in the dark here. I assume you're surrounded by fireflies for light sources, because that sounds cool and pretty, but it could be whatever. And whoever is leading, give me a finding your way through these caves roll.
Sure. Is that that's the wasteland survival, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I assume.
I established before
overland.
I have a headlamp because you wouldn't go cave diving without a reliable light source.
Agreed.
Yeah. So let me do the thing. I survived.
Ooh.
Success.
All right. On a total success, that's probably good. All right. Where's the damn thing? I have to find it. Wasteland survival. Wasteland outside of Settlelands. Yep, that's the one. Something bad happens, but something good happens.
Okay. I think that it would be logical if, since we're doing all this like weird tunneling, that an obstacle blocks our way back. So like basically we can't go back through this tunnel because it like caves in behind us.
That sounds great to me. Yeah, especially since you have to move Earth to make it happen, and you're trying to do it quicker too. Like usually, I mean, at the very least, there was a nuclear engineering division, and they've built tunnels and mines, and like they don't fuck around, and you have to do it a lot quicker. So you don't necessarily have the luxury of good tunnel building and structural secureness, which when you're working underground, those are really nice things to have, huh?
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of find yourself in. Were you planning to just directly Bugs Bunny style, like carve a hole beneath their transport, or were you trying to find a kind of exit to the surface near them?
I don't know that we could be that precise.
I don't think that was absurd. And I don't think that's. I think you could maybe cause a cave in the general vicinity if you. And I'd make you like do rolls, and probably, especially since you can't really get out effectively, some bad stuff, more bad stuff would happen about it.
Yeah. And last time I did Wasteland Survival, I think I asked to discover a secret that you said you would tell me later. So this time I will ask to discover a treasure.
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh God.
It's okay.
Oh God.
Did you tell her?
Did I?
No.
Did I give you anything?
No, because
Shucks.
that was when I was
What was it?
navigating
Yeah.
to the Citadel last time, and you were like, "Oh, we'll figure it out later," because I didn't have an
Oh,
idea
okay.
of something I wanted.
Okay.
Since it's a secret,
Yeah, okay.
I wanted it to be a secret, or a surprise, right?
Okay, so
So yeah, this time I'll pick a treasure.
okay. I guess I was gonna say diamonds, but I don't. Diamonds are like made artificially valuable rather than
Yeah.
having all that much, especially once again. But man, you fuckers need uranium, don't you? Congratulations, you got some uranium. Why don't you even add to your? Wait, you have to secure it. That's the part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's some uranium. That's gonna be real valuable if you can get your hands on it. You know how good that is.
Mm-hmm.
That makes the
Cool.
reactors run. Once you do all the other stuff to it,
Right.
I don't have to discuss that process here and now. It's
Why not? We talk about science anyway.
No, for sure, but it's not even good. You just like spin it around and then you make it into gas and then you unmix. That's a whole. Except that's not. I don't think the modern. I know that uranium hexa. I'm getting way off.
It's
You
true. It
could
would
use
take a very
diffusion.
long. Yeah.
That was.
I feel like that
important
is-
for the isotope separation. My
Yeah.
grandpa actually on that, but we are
Cool.
just. I guess.
No, let's talk about it.
Here's one that just if we're gonna just like ride this tangent is that my grandfather's PhD thesis was classified, completely classified. I think it could probably get unclassified, but the other interesting fact about it is that it was wrong. He took great joys in talking about how that was the upside of military secrecy. It was that like no one could ever see his bad thesis.
Oh wow.
I overheard him discussing it with a colleague once when I was like, I don't know, young, 12, 9, doesn't really matter. But I never got a chance to hear about it. Well, I had enough physics under my belt to really know what was actually happening. But like I had these tantalizing memories. It had something to do with promethium. It was very cool to me.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Scintillating.
But now you're underground.
Mm-hmm.
So what were you trying to do? Because you weren't trying to do Looney Tunes stuff.
No, I mean
established that was unlikely.
were trying to get into that like valley where they're parked, like close enough that it was a sneak attack, but like
From a direction they aren't expecting.
exactly.
Yeah.
But odds
And
are
maybe
that we
even
can't
at
like
night.
right. But yeah,
Well,
odds are
at
that we
night you
can't
might
like
be.
drill out from under them. Yeah.
No, that would. I think that's asking a lot of the mechanics of this game, and quite frankly, our suspension of disbelief.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that's fine. I think you rolled very good, so that happens. That means that you are kind of overlooking with a small group, I assume, this valley kind of nestled in between 3 or 4 hills that their no longer mobile fortress is parked in. Let's say it's late afternoon in case you guys want to like wait for night to do your shenanigans, but at the moment they're, I think, mostly not visible. They're probably mostly inside. There's definitely, I'm just going to make up a number, 20 sounds good. We used that as a guard contingent last time, kind of circling around it. Vroom, vroom, you've heard it. So yeah, that's the circumstance. What do you guys want to do with it? Xander, do you have your quick character's name yet?
You're
You're
muted.
muted. Thanks.
Yeah, the quick character's name is Nemo.
Oh
Love
my
it.
god.
Oh my god, I love that. Excellent. Cool.
And
Did
this
you pick an
episode is called
inherited
Finding
move, or-
Xander.
Nah, we'll
Is
maybe.
Finding
Is-
Ganymede.
is Nemo also
Or yes.
he him or
Yes,
okay.
but
Nice.
Nemo's defining trait is that he wears a bedazzled ski mask
Nice.
because it's cold
Hey.
outside, but
Okay.
like he wants to be fancy. So he
Yeah, I
decorates
love
it.
that.
Okay.
Also,
How
he's
many
the
gems
rival.
does he?
He's the rival of Ganymede, so they've always butted heads.
Ooh.
Interesting. I like this.
Like younger and more badass.
Nice.
Mhm.
Drama.
Always feels threatened. I love this. It's very good. Did you pick an inheritance move?
Yeah, forensics.
Nice. What does that give you? I don't want to read
If
it.
I examine an item for a couple of hours, I can figure out stuff such as what it's made of, important marks that history has left on it, and signs of who handled it recently. So if we're
Cool.
like tracking or something, it might be useful.
Yeah, that might come up. But it's not going to come up right now because right now there's some guards on this vehicle.
Because we're coming up.
As you're coming up.
I feel better about that one.
I don't, but
Oh.
where we're at.
Okay. Now are we just doing an assault?
Are
Charon,
you?
Or what are we doing?
I don't know.
I feel like we started this off at a very similar point where it's just like we are bad at a frontal assault.
You've got
so
an
we need to
overlook.
retcon an idea.
That wouldn't suck. You can certainly have brought some stuff with you. We're not like so deep in the fiction that I'm gonna cut that option off. Like you're a bit trapped, but you definitely brought something to help.
Break out some weird grenades again.
Yeah, I think we
Always
just
weird
strap a bunch
grenades.
of weird grenades to Nemo and just send him in there like a.
Okay, so this is a really crazy, stupid idea, and maybe it's a terrible idea.
No, please say it out loud so we can do it.
Okay, so I haven't gotten to use my octopus yet. So
Say some more words, yes.
Go on.
So, one of the things that the cetacean allies that the pioneers of the depths are supposed to have, is that the cetacean allies are good
We'll
at...
change him to cephalopods.
Right, but the cetacean allies are good at underwater search and rescue. But since it's an octopus, I don't know if you've ever seen a video, but like octopi can actually survive out of water for a little while.
Quite some time, no, for sure. It's very cold though. That's been
It is very
limiting
cold,
factor.
But I bet it's
But
not...
I think I'll
Put
give
the
you
ski
no.
mask on the octopus.
We could, but
Yes.
I bet it's not very cold inside the crawler, which does not crawl
Interest.
anymore, right? And
Yeah.
octopi can fit through very, very small cracks because they
It
don't
is
have
known.
bones and things. So what if y'all
3
create...
brains though.
Right, yes. But what if y'all create a distraction and I send my octopus in through a crack to search and rescue Ganymede inside the...
I love this.
Ganymede wouldn't have it any other way.
I love this. What can we do to make this happen? Do you guys want to cook up a distraction? You've already got one, honestly. If you wanted to be bored, I just mean from you used one against them last time, and they'd be like, "What the fuck? These guys used this last time." And but also, you could maybe do something that wouldn't draw their direct attention to you. I don't think you brought as many fighters because this needed to be small in order to be stealthy. Is the impression that you can have if you were just like, yeah, let's bring 18 dudes and just like kill them. I don't know. That might work. Probably.
Yeah, I feel like Charon is worried that the same distraction might not work the same way twice.
Mm-hmm.
That seems reasonable.
So I'm thinking about kind of doing whatever the arthropod equivalent of like smacking my giant dung beetle on the ass is, and just to like send it off, like kind of across, like not like raging through camp, but like across camp, so that like to draw them off, like oh he's weighed down with a bunch of like saddlebags.
Had a
and,
huge
and
amount
whatnot.
of legs. Was that a millipede or centipede? I don't know. I didn't get a chance to count.
All right, get everybody, let's all get counting.
I love that.
They're like vampires; they have to count.
Yeah.
No, that's not true. They don't even know how to count. They could if they wanted to. They just don't want
Oh my
to.
goodness.
Oh,
your
We're talking
hood
about
disappeared.
vampires?
Yeah, I was about to say
Yeah.
vampires.
Raiders.
No, vampires do, but I think that was a pun. But maybe it's not.
No, I like you being like,
like that.
actually vampires use different rules in
Yeah,
real
that's
life.
true. Have you ever met a vampire? How do you know?
Oh, we should do a vampire campaign. Anyway.
Oh my god, that's so
I
many
love that
mechanics
game.
for online. It's
That's
so
such a
many
good game.
mechanics. You have to roll like 18 times to do anything.
A vampain?
You have to roll
Anyway.
It's fine. We don't have to get
a
into
good game.
systems here.
Nope.
Peter, give me a roll about the thing that you did, unless you want, like,
What kind of role is that?
not do it. That's definitely diffuse, isn't it? That's like everything.
Okay.
Let's see what would be something different. You just have to pick which of the things make the most sense. I don't know. It seems like misdirection, so sway, but like, feel free to
Nope.
hit me if you feel
You said
something
sway.
different.
Sway's the one thing I'm good at. That's a partial
that's your
success.
good one? All right. Well, what bad thing do you want? Because it does work a little. Sheryl, you'll give me a roll about that in a second, but what bad thing happens? How does it not work completely?
No.
So it's a dung beetle that you send just... Oh, yeah, sorry. It's like that. There's a lot of rules in this book. It's fine, though. Actually, nah, it's fine. Nah.
There's a cost to securing safety. The danger will return soon. The danger is still present, but threatening someone else or something else.
So this is the guard.
We
that
replace
is the
Ganymede
danger.
with Nemo and leave.
Yeah. I feel like it makes the most sense to think that they're threatening my dung beetle, my closest and only friend.
Only?
Now I'm sad.
I'm hurt.
No, I get it.
You're a bodyguard.
A
You
man
get paid.
and his dung beetle.
Whoa.
You know
don't
how
pay
it
your dung
is.
beetle?
In love? What's wrong with you?
Yeah. In head pats and
And
its
it's a
favorite fungus
mutualistic
treats.
relationship. Yeah.
Aw, nobody ever pays me in head pats.
I know. That's not great. I don't think I'm gonna like kill it because that sounds harsh. I tried that before and you got very sad. But I do think that kind of it charges through the camp, like takes like 3 motorcycles on its horn as it just keeps fucking running. It's not even. That's just not terrified, but like it's pure, instinct at this point, charging. And so it's lost somewhere on the surface. You'll have to track it down if you want it back. But
I definitely want it back. It's my top priority right now.
Stop putting it in harm's way, then.
Yeah, no, you definitely. That's on you that this happens.
That's fair.
CJ,
That's fair.
You literally said, "What about this guy?" But it's fine. So Sheryl, you're kind of diffusing a different situation.
Yeah.
Using your octopus.
So my plan is that like the octopus, like it has better and different senses than us, and also it can squeege through tiny spaces. So my thought is that what if Nemo and I sort of followed the octopus at a distance, and it could kind of scout, open doors, figure out the correct direction to get to Ganymede, and then we can, provide it with backup, because I bet the octopus can't just like fight its way back out.
No, almost certainly not. Well, why don't you give me first an under orders roll with its quality, and then some sort of diffuse about being in there with an octopus leading you, because that sounds like a dangerous situation that you want to de-escalate.
Okay, so under orders is 2d6 plus its quality.
Yeah, I just don't remember what number we came up with.
Its quality is 2.
Okay,
So that's a
was
7.
2 or 3.
Partial
All right.
success.
Cool. Then there are rules for that, I bet. There's some consequences. It's done, but choose one. They fell short. There's consequences, or their quality drops. For now. Like, you can re-up it when you re-equip next time.
Yeah.
But like,
Okay, sorry. It was their quality drops or what? I don't.
They fell short in one particular aspect. So that might be something like, them not noticing something or being unable to work a certain lock.
Okay.
There'll be unfortunate consequences, which I leave to your imagination, but involve consequences, I bet, or their quality drops because it costs them. So it's a very sleepy octopus or something.
Yeah.
It's not cold, maybe. It's not used to this. I don't know. It's up to
yeah,
you.
yeah. No, I think I like that it fails in a particular aspect one. So it's able to get through small spaces and find its way to Ganymede, but it can't open the door for us.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That makes sense. Then give me kind of a diffuse to, because like it's a tense situation where you're sneaking. So diffuse that with something, probably sneaking, which is I can never really tell between like sway, which is misdirection, and like endurance or quick action, which is steal.
Well, I'm a highly athletic character, so
at some point read the rules, but I'm not going to. I did it once.
It was cool.
It was all right. So which one was that between sway and steel, or what's happening? What are you doing?
I would prefer steel because I'm an athletic character, so I imagine that I would be leaning on my athleticism in order to do that.
Mm-hmm. That's kind of more than if you're doing by steel. Yeah. It's probably wading and crawling, I think, more than like being quick.
Yeah.
Which is a different one, maybe. Or maybe it's not. Give me steel.
Okay.
Let's just do this. See how it goes.
Am I doing something because Nemo is with me, or is this just normal for me?
Probably not. You don't really have like relevant backstory. You haven't worked together very much, I don't think, and that's part of why you kind of get working together advantages with Ganymede, is because you work with Ganymede regularly and whatever.
Cool. All right.
That's a partial
success.
So you can sneak through, but a thing happens. So in addition to, there's a locked door you can't really get through. Just yet.
I can't get through it either. Don't feel bad.
Well, I'm assuming that you're physically restrained in some way.
Yes.
You know what assuming does. Who knows what Ganymede is doing?
That's true.
That's fair. Actually, will you decide I'm going to quick run? I got to grab thing. I'll be...
Okay. They'll be back. I don't know which one of these to pick, though, because... Because the choices are, like, the danger will soon return, but, like, I guess I could pick that one that, like, there are people, like, checking, but it's, like, not, it's not that the danger would return, but it's that, like, we will soon be threatened, as opposed to, like, making it through safely. I don't know. Anybody else got a good topic of conversation to fill the airspace?
I feel like Xander definitely does.
Sorry about
Perfect timing. Okay.
No, it's fine. I had my headphones on,
you
so
saved
I
us from listening to Xander talk. So
it's okay. Yeah. So I think. So if you heard me, sort of, my quandary was that I wasn't diffusing a currently threatening situation, but I think I've chosen.
I think I could give you that. Like, you'll have to fight your way out.
Yeah. That the danger will soon return is that, like,
the danger right now is that somebody might spot you, and I think we'll try to sneak him out. It becomes real.
Because I assume they've noticed something's up.
No, for sure. There's a angry dung beetle that stole like 3 of their motorcycles, I think by accident. Like, did you train that, Peter? You can tell me. Like, or was this just like pure id this thing was going off of? It just needed.
Yeah, I feel like the second one. Yeah, I feel like it was not trained for distracting people.
No,
it was just like...
But just like running through stuff. It's got a big horn at the front, and the bikes have some open spaces.
And then they were like... Then all of a sudden there were noises, and so it just...
I get it. Cool. Glad we resolved that. But yes, at the moment, though, you are outside this locked door. Any minute now, a patrol could come around, so you got to deal with it quickly. But you're in there, so that's good.
Yeah.
Some positives. If you make a lot of noise, that will probably attract more attention. But there's definitely some noise happening. In fact, you've kind of been sneaking, that you've heard like probably some alarms there. I think you're kept safe at the moment, mostly by the fact that they're expecting you to not have already gotten in. And so they're prepping their defenses more against someone getting in. And so in the interior of the vehicle, you're relatively safe. They're kind of manning turrets up top or whatever is like, so they've kind of got like armored positions, which if they find the people you left behind might suck for them, but that will resolve that if it happens. We don't have to. They might not. we'll see.
Nemo, are you any good at opening door locks, locked doors?
Yeah, I've had some experience with locks. I could give it a try.
How does one open a lock in this game?
Man, that's something. It's always diffuse. I just
Oh, okay. What kind of
how you do
diffuse?
it. Basically, everything you do is
Which kind of
physical
diffuse?
exertion.
how are you approaching?
I think it'd be funny if he said, "Yeah, I've had some experience picking locks," and then he just breaks the lock off.
Oh, please don't be loud. That'll attract people to us.
Fine, I'll do it the quiet way.
I mean, I will say there's definitely enough, like, I was picturing metal grating because I always picture metal grating, let's be honest. So boots tramping over that, kind of providing enough noise that, like, you don't have to be silent. If you kicked the door in and timed it right, I think you'd be okay. I'm not going to draw attentions beforehand because we've already resolved to draw them after, unless this roll goes bad. So
Okay.
force wouldn't be the worst if that's the one you picked.
Okay.
But
And-
also, if you try lore is kind of tech, and improvised tech is a fancy way of saying lockpicking, isn't it? Or possibly vice versa.
I'm gonna try
Either way.
force if that's okay.
Lore
Do I
makes
get a
sense
plus
as
one
the other.
because Islae is there? Or no, because we're
Advantage
working
is
together.
when it's players if you have relevant backstory, but I'm gonna go.
Okay, so no.
I'm gonna give it to you, but more because
I
you're
already rolled without it, and I got a 9.
Oh, well, good enough.
What if I
That's
get
fine.
a plus 1 now? It's a 10, and it's perfect.
Well, if you want to try it, I'll let you. But if you want to just accept that there is one bad thing that happens,
Don't accept it.
I'll never accept it.
I thought that might be the case. It's just like you're a quick character and you're being helped out by a main character, and that feels like good enough reason. You know what I mean?
I'll say there's a cost to securing safety, and when I open the cell door, Ganymede isn't expecting it, and it hits him.
Oh.
He's like, "Hey guys, what's?"
Oh.
I love this. So sorry, which one was that? Says dangers still
There's a
present.
cost to securing safety.
Oh, there it is. Yeah, okay. Put another harm on Ganymede. He's having erupted.
Oh, no.
In fact, he's a bit woozy. I'm gonna declare him semi-inoperative for this because you already have a character. You're just carrying him. It's fine. He'll be fine in a bit. I just don't want to deal with Xander having to play 2 characters.
It's a good plot development because he'll
At this exact
we'll be able
moment.
to do the amnesia arc after this, where he's like, "Who
Oh.
are you?"
I love that.
Yeah.
That's
And then he
true.
has to like find himself.
Oh, and that can be when
You guys found him, and now he has to find himself.
yeah, when you do your painting or whatever it is that you're compelled to do.
Who am I on the on the
Precisely.
mountainside? In gigantic letters, the size of buildings. All right, what are we doing?
So Nemo like slings Ganymede over his shoulders, in like a bizarre grip, and he's like,
Yeah.
"Can't believe I have to carry this guy again." Thought
Nice.
those days were over.
Sick burn. Everyone agrees that it's sick burn. Everybody.
We're always
Yeah.
carrying him.
All right, Octopus, lead us out of here.
Well, I'm just gonna put the octopus back in its backpack now because I don't need it.
I guess the way out of here is
Hey,
through
what are
the
you
backpack.
doing? Shouts a guard.
Oh no!
Stuffing the octopus back in the backpack and screw it on the lid.
Hell yeah.
We're
You
escorting the prisoner
it's
to
got
s'more
like
to s'mores
pistols
night.
or something.
Oh,
I haven't
shit.
really figured out the exact flavor of ranged weapons other than a gigantic sniper rifle in this setting. But they've got something bows, crossbows, but like techie crossbows. That's what it is. It's like high tech crossbows. I don't know why. It makes no sense, but we're doing it. It fires them at very high speeds. You do not want to be on the wrong end. It's like a hand ballista this one guard is carrying. And pointing and saying, "What are you doing?" So that's the situation you're in.
I'm
Oh, hey,
gonna
Peter.
open my jar of wasps.
Oh,
Wait, you're
bad
not
news,
there.
you're not there.
Oh, I'm not there. Fuck.
Oh no!
I will let you double down on a distraction, which will certainly help them in getting out. But that's not this moment. That's
Okay.
No, go ahead if you want, because I'm happy to.
No, I just wanted to establish: do we still have the earpieces that we had in the previous fight, or
Sure.
is this?
You know, it's sure. Yeah, you hear, hey, what are you doing over the comms or something? Because he's very loud, or maybe it's not directional enough. I'm like, I don't know. I don't really care. You hear it over the comms, so you can react. Let's go. If you've got something. If not, Sheryl could do something, because the techie, the high-tech crossbow is pointed at you. This is because they're Raider. There are, like, better projectile weapons in this feature. They just don't have their hands on them. I want to be clear. This is just, like, some Raider nonsense. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if I hear that, I'm gonna release my wasp's head to increase the distractiveness of what's going on outside.
So
that's all I got.
No, that's fair. I want to know how we'll go, because at the moment, as far as I'm aware, you're overlooking and kind of like a rock outcropping at least some distance away. Like, I'm assuming you've got at least 50 meters. You just have like a 50-meter lob or something that I don't know about? Or are you just trying to, like... How are we... What's up? Do you go in?
Yeah.
Do you let yourself be... Do you put yourself in danger to do this, is what I guess I'm really asking. Is the choice I'm kind of offering is, like, you can do this, you can do your wasps, and that'll definitely get Sheryl Islae into a better position, but at the same time, you'll be risking yourself. And remember, if you die, you just do a new character. It's fine.
Yeah, no. I'm not.
Don't die, though. I'm not trying to kill you.
No, I'm fine with dying. Yeah, Peter's fine with dying. No, I'm just trying to figure out if Charon would be self-sacrificing at all.
Yeah,
that's kind of sucks.
You're not wrong. He's a eugenicist.
Oh, man.
It's fine. No, we're just never going to get over that, and I'm going to apply grave consequences to future generations.
Oh yeah, let's say he does it.
Fails,
yeah,
as this project fails. Okay.
I think.
Oh, he's doing it.
I think Islae has proven herself enough that like he considers her like one of the good ones.
Okay,
so,
well then,
yeah.
give me a diffuse
After,
because
like,
you were on the outside.
15 minutes ago, he said I was just a bodyguard, but okay.
Hey, listen, he's complicated.
Yeah.
A good bodyguard.
Dimensions.
They're hard to come by. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna like sled down the hill. And then when I get to the bottom of the hill, I'm going to be like, bees!
Hello, bees!
Oh, I love this so much that I'm going to give you sledding down the hill. Like, on your shoes, or do you have a sled?
I think I have a sled.
Okay.
It's like an improvised
Is it a
sled.
toboggan? Okay.
No, it's not quite.
So it's just
fancy.
like a hunk of metal?
Yes.
Maybe? Okay, it's a little curved.
Might be like a beetle elytra.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Plus, you guys do have like those overland haulers, so you definitely have like sled technology. I'm not asking you to reinvent the wheel.
Technology.
Very advanced sled technology. I'm glad that survived.
Lack of wheels? Yeah. Nah. No. Didn't like that one either. Okay.
I did. I just, if you react, it's fine. If I react like I don't hate it, am I doing your pun a disservice or what? All right, Peter, what are you doing? You're shouting bees. That's right. Give me a roll. Are you assaulting them? Are you trying to like deal damage? No, you're not trying to like directly.
I'm just trying to distract them.
Yeah, so that's a diffuse, and I'm gonna say steal. I'm gonna say quick action. This is you trying to like reactively, like you've heard that Islae's in trouble, so you're, oh boy. Not only are there bees, you're in danger now too, because you've exposed yourself, and they have. Did I mention? I meant the armored like points up top, and so they react to your bees with gunfire. Let me double check this, but I think it's 2. It might be 3. They've got. I'm gonna say 2. I don't want to like. Yeah, that fits. Yeah. Because then if I do 2 twice, you're not dead, and if I do it a 3rd time, you are dead. Where if it's 3, I do it again, you're dead. You see what I mean?
Yep.
On the plus side, it's very hard to shoot bees.
The bees are probably causing a little bit of chaos. Sheryl, you kind of hear to whatever extent there's an internal address system. It's or something. Whatever. You hear, oh, we've got eyes because there was definitely some, we can't see what the hell's happening, but we're feeling under attack. So everyone to your stations is, we've seen him and now we're firing at him. So you have just this one guy. It feels like he's probably can't count on reinforcements in the chaos.
So he said, "What are you doing?" and pointed the
that was
crossbow at us.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna say, "Well, what are you doing?" And I guess I'm gonna fiercely assault because YOLO.
There it is.
With my many fishing spears.
You do it.
I do it. Okay. Plus force. Not my best thing, but I'm okay at it. Rolling. Standard, right?
As far as I know, unless you think of a reason you'd have advantage, but I don't. He's got his crossbow pointed at you, if anything.
Yeah.
I mean, is my
oh my god!
No, my fleshy body not a good distraction?
Oof.
Yeah.
I missed.
Take a crossbow bolt to the shoulder, like right
That's
here,
good. That's
and
What?
let's call that 2 harm as well.
Xander
That's kind
is
of
crushing
the
it.
scale of harm right now.
So
Oh my
good.
gosh. Oh no. We've done it.
We've weaponized the Zoom backgrounds, y'all.
Amazing.
Upsetting.
Jeez. Well,
So
that
now
sucked.
a lot of people are in trouble. Peter, you're being shot at.
Mm-hmm.
Ganymede, you're mildly unconscious.
Mildly unconscious?
Well, wait,
a bit
Nemo.
woozy. Nemo's up. What does he react to this? I was just
He shot me before I could stab him.
Jordan.
Well,
I want to know what you want to do
Nemo-
about Peter too.
Nemo is equipped with assassination blades, just like...
Yes, many assassination blades. We've
Yes,
established.
Many.
Could he throw some assassination blades at
I
the
bet he
enemies?
could. That's probably also a fiercely assault, unless it's fiercely assault. You can't convince me that it's a diffuse. So it's a plus
I'd like to
force roll.
diffuse the situation with my knives.
I mean, what's your goal with your knives? Is it anything other than to like drive them back?
Injure them enough
Yeah,
that they
right.
go away.
Yeah,
You do
okay.
there you
flashbangs
go.
too, or something.
What was that, Jordan?
Flashbangs.
Miss.
To
Oh
help
my-
with Peter.
Oh God.
We used up all of our luck earlier. in
Wait,
the
what do
episode.
you...
Wait.
What? How is that a
Xander,
miss,
what the
dear?
fuck are you talking
Yeah,
about?
what are you talking about?
You got a
12.
12.
Oh, I can't read.
That's a 12. 12 is a good number.
I was like,
You did.
miss.
Good,
Oh,
That's a
no.
good number.
It's a 1 and a 2 together. That's a 3. That's a fail.
I did take my
So-
glasses off.
Not a fail. Oh, boy.
Let's see. On a 10 plus, I choose 2, and the GM chooses 1. Your avenue of escape is clear.
Yes.
Obviously,
Oh, I
I'm going
love
to
that.
choose. And you inflict savage, terrifying harm,
Yes.
frightening, and dismaying your foes.
They'll
Yay.
think twice before messing with the Bowerbirds again.
Woo.
That's right.
Good job, Bedazzled.
In that case, I think, by the way, I'm going to change. Those recruits are no longer former bikers who are all just part of this plot. They are now the kind of community reaction to this cool thing you're doing.
And it's a new
Either
fashion
way,
trend of bedazzled
Yeah.
ski masks. They keep you warm and
That's
stylish.
it. Yeah,
Mm,
exactly.
mhm.
We're like, whoa, bedazzled ski masks finally getting the spotlight in this campaign. All right, I'm in.
Notoriety.
Why didn't you bring this out sooner? They say, and sign up by the dozen. But not so by the dozen that you have a surplus of recruits, just enough that it's not. All right.
The perfect number, really.
And I'm going to just take this opportunity to toss a harm on Ganymede, who I do not think is in serious more trouble, other than just like getting battered about as that's what it is. It's to throw all these assassination blades. You just drop him to the ground. You're like, ah, fuck. And it's cool, but it looks
You dropped him?
He forgot he had too many assassination blades. That's what it was, is the secret one under his armpit, and he had to shrug off Ganymede, who was kind of firing. He's just like, all right, here we go.
It's a risk you take to have that many blades. You know?
Well, you did establish that Nemo and Ganymede don't actually like each other, right?
That too, exactly. So, was it deliberate? You don't know?
You'll never know.
But yeah, I think he's at like 2 or 3. He's gonna get out of the scene okay, is my guess, unless you guys put him in more danger, in which case he's gonna die. But like,
as Nemo is pulling him out, he's like hitting his head against like obstacles.
Oh yeah. So let's go to the outside where Peter is now standing with his jar of wasps. Jordan, you suggested flashbangs.
I mean, I can still do that.
It's up to you. If you could probably toss them into like the cabin or whatever, the turret, and like that would definitely suck for them. But obviously you have to roll about it. Or you can do something else. Peter's in trouble. You can leave him to die. It's not your fucking dude. He's a different family. It's just some guy.
So's Ganymede, but we're all here.
Yeah, I mean, we have adventured together quite a few times.
You have. He's cool. You like him. I'm just saying.
Cool is a strong word.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. No,
that would
I
be an
overstated.
assault roll, though, right?
That or diffuse, depending kind of if you're trying to provide cover or back them down. Cover is more kind of in the diffuse thing, whereas assault is just like assault, you know?
I guess I'd lean towards providing cover.
Okay, then that's probably a tech.
Mostly I'm trying to avoid that force roll.
Yeah, no,
that
it's...
-1 force roll.
If I'm being honest, this game really, it wants you to like do a bunch of setup and then fiercely assault. Like when you get into fiercely assault, you're kind of near the end of the encounter. It's not. Anyhow,
Yeah.
diffuse
And
seems
I
good.
have,
Give me a
like-
low roll. Yeah.
I think I have... Do I have that? Maybe not. I thought I had experimental energy projector. I probably...
Oh,
Um,
I think
but,
that was
like-
one of your grad students, but maybe.
I don't know. I don't
Is it-
remember. But I also don't know if that would actually be useful here. So
You
anyway.
can make up whatever cool tech you want. I don't really like what cool tech are you solving this with. Let's do it. You don't need to stick to your gear list 1-to-1. Sorry.
Like, aside from them getting out so we can, like, GTFO. Like, I don't know that... I think
Yeah.
I'll probably just go diffuse.
Okay, yeah, no, that I think it makes the most sense to me. It's just
Yeah.
you have definitely plenty of, just because your equipment is kind of the main way that you interact with the world, it doesn't mean that your family's stuff on hand is exclusively this set of equipment, you know?
Yeah. Do we have any extra advantages lying around?
There's one left.
Oh,
I don't know if I want to use it now.
you can turn, I have like at least one disadvantage. I think I used one. You can turn it into 2 advantages if you want. I don't care.
Did you actually choose to use one earlier? I didn't know if you did because I didn't cross it off.
I wasn't sure either, honestly, because it was a situational thing. This game lets me pull out disadvantage on my own, and I never quite know. It was kind of fiat-y, so yeah, let's call it, and then we can convert the other one into 2 advantages. Why not? I don't need it. Unless, Sheryl, you really need to hold on. But it was my donation. I bought it for myself.
Yeah,
let's
no,
give
that's
you
fine.
guys some advantage.
Cool. All right. Nice. Much success.
12.
12. Nice. Yeah. Wasn't it? Or it doesn't matter.
No,
You rolled a
failure.
12. It's very good.
Oh no.
Xander.
I think it should have been slightly better, is all I'm saying. But the
Yeah, it could have
number's
been a
the same.
13.
It could have been a 13. But it's not. Actually, I think it was the point. But they're both successes in this diffuse. So, Peter, you have cover. You can kind of get away.
Cool.
Is that what you do with this
Yes,
cover?
absolutely.
Excellent. Likewise, you have... Wait, you rolled bad. You provided no particular assistance to the inside people They have dealt with one guard, but are kind of inside, and you need to like get out somehow. Especially because you put your octopus back in your tank. I think, and did some vent crawling. You don't necessarily have like a perfect map in your head of the layout. So, how do you do it? It's not my problem.
I mean, I guess I would try to re-follow the path back out as best we can.
Okay. There's one of those.
Is that
one of the
Forge
two?
a whatchamacallit?
Yeah,
Forge
that's
a
the one.
Forge
The
a
one
path.
that isn't the wasteland one, because this thing. Yeah, you're kind of. It's when you find your way across precarious or dangerous terrain, and this terrain is made dangerous by the guards and it being,
Well,
a tank.
I'm going to use one of those brand new advantages then, since I haven't been rolling well. Okay.
Oof.
Roll plus force to GTFO. Partial success. Gee willikers.
Okay. Well,
Um,
you get to pick two of the consequences.
The route we take is lost.
Yeah, that's fair.
I
you
don't
definitely
care.
Can't commit it to memory anymore.
Nope.
Listen, apparently we're not done with this fortress because, y'all haven't blown it up, which fair enough. That would take a lot more than you have currently or are likely to be able to bring.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't find your way around inside the fortress when inevitably it comes back up.
Yeah.
And
Next game, we're blowing this fucker
yeah,
sky
okay.
high.
maybe.
And I guess the other one that, I want to be able to take the two guys with me, and I don't want us to take a super long time, so I guess we're exposed to danger.
All right. Let's see. I'm gonna just mark that as one harm to everyone in the party, which will put Ganymede at the dangerous boxes and mean that kind of as we come into the next session, he's more got a sling than is necessary, at full speed. But I think everyone else is still in the trivial harm categories.
I'm at my
okay.
third harm, so.
Okay, so you're getting close too.
Yeah.
If,
I think
but
my
that
third
was the
harm box is
dangerous
called
escape.
Shell shocked, which I don't appreciate
Oh.
really as a
Yeah.
That's fun.
not
great.
That's fun.
not very progressive or whatever, but we'll just say
Yeah.
I have some trauma, some mental trauma.
Listen, last time we made a beetle joke about it, and it was way funnier.
Yeah, that's true.
Um,
Does the quick character have fewer harm boxes?
I think they are
Actually, I don't know how that works.
more. I don't know either.
I just
It's
wanted
not
to
going to be relevant because he's not going to die here.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure he wasn't going to die on the way out.
I think they might have one fewer. It looks like, but I'm not positive. No, it's the same number. It's just that they're kind of the third one starts at stat penalties.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's fine. That's not important because it sounds like you guys have kind of blown. Actually, I guess. So how does it go then? You kind of make your way out. That harm could be anything. Could be getting spotted. It could and taking a few hits as you leave. Could be you crawl too close to a steam vent or something. Help me flavor this.
Yeah, I was assuming that if we were doing mostly through vents and ductwork and not normal avenues of travel, that it would probably be associated with hot metal or
Love it.
ragged
No, I'm into
edges
it.
and sharp bits and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely kind of scrambled together, especially back there. They're just they built this, right?
Yeah.
It's topside now, and it's kind of made out of all sorts of things, and as such, especially kind of in the back of it, the welding is just horrific. I don't know if any of you are professional welders. I'm not, but if you were, you would be absolutely horrified by the sort of things holding this together. But it is nonetheless, it's a very sturdy hunk of rolling metal. It doesn't roll very fast. In fact,
it doesn't roll at all
now. But you gotta beat a stealthy retreat is how this retreat has gone.
Mm-hmm.
So taking kind of Jordan, you were using what, flashbangs, was it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you kind of use the cover of the days and the lights to just get the fuck out with Ganymede. And we've resolved that, and it's basically
Yay.
7. So I feel like we've done it. Good work, team.
We've done it.
Well, next
Amazing.
session, somebody else will have their needs come into crisis, and we'll see what happens then.
Great.
Who will be kidnapped next?
Maybe that's
boy.
an option. I will probably interpret it differently so that we don't play the same scenario twice. Just
Does anybody have anything they'd like to advertise, support, notify people coming up-ness?
happy birthday to my mom.
Aw.
Aww.
Happy birthday to Mom.
All right.
Amazing. Yeah, so thank you to everybody who watched, and if you hung out in the chat, thanks for being there. Don't forget, we've got video and podcast versions of this stuff if you didn't get to see the whole thing or you want to share it with your friends and your enemies. We are coming back with 2 nature chats, interviewing our guests on the Arctic campaign. Those should be coming out soon, so stay tuned for those to be published. Those don't go live on the Twitch, but they will be on podcast and our YouTube. Don't forget, I posted it in the chat partway through the game, but our Tiltify campaign for the Bale Project is still going, so please donate if you are able, because that cause needs a lot of help, and it gets matched, which is important, by our mysterious benefactor. Other than that, stay safe and be smart, please.
Yeah.
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 Because we
Yeah.
care about you, and the world is
Wear
a
a
dangerous
mask, you
place.
ding dongs.
Yeah, wear a mask. I don't know. That's it for me.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. All right. Well,
See you next time,
see you next time, everybody. Bye.
Space Cowboys.